than just 17 MLS regular season matches, right? Because that's what you're going to end up getting.
Sure.
Because I mean that's your home schedule for City SC, but it's going to be more than that because you're going to be able to schedule college events there, possibly even NCAA tournament type events there, and not just for soccer either. I think you can do it for field hockey. Use a similar size field.
Yeah.
So
will they? Are they doing concerts or no?
I don't know that it's a certainty. I just know that they have a lot of dates, and if they're open dates, I'm sure they're going to book things that'll fill it. But some of that probably depends on logistics, like how close it is to a game, because you can't mess with the surface.
The field,
yeah. But I mean, there are a lot of possibilities there, which means it's more than just if you're a diehard soccer fan, because initially you're going to have this passion of the new, right? You got a new team. People in St. Louis have been dying for an MLS team for 25, 30 years. I mean, I know, the league, has the league been around that long? It's been around actually pretty close to that long. But people have been dying for this for a long time. People have been counting down to this opportunity for a long time. The question ultimately becomes, is there a honeymoon period, right? And what defines that? I mean, because at some point, obviously, every sports team, you have to be good. If you want to maintain support, you have to be good if you're going to maintain that. But we're years from even worrying about that. Well, I think you got at least a few years of run-up where it's like, look, we want to experience it because you're not going to get everybody in the first year, right? I mean, you've sold out all of your season tickets. Yeah, the secondary market will allow for some opportunities. But a lot of people, it's going to take a couple of years, I would think, 2 or 3 years to get everybody in that wants to experience the whole thing.
Well, but think about this, too. It's only 17 dates a year.
Right.
That's it. Like, there are only 17 games a year. There should be plenty in this city to fill that place for years to come.
I agree. I mean, St. Louis has always shown up for soccer. We remember the record-setting women's, World Cup, not World Cup, but the national team friendly game. And I will say this, with Major League Soccer, it'll be interesting to see what the fan base looks like and what they gravitate to, because it's not like baseball or hockey where you have franchise players. There's a huge amount of turnover in Major League Soccer, and it's a hodgepodge of Latin American players and developing players and European players who aren't playing in the Bundesliga necessarily, right? And they are coming here, and then your random star like a David Beckham gets thrown in, and there's just a ton of turnover.
Yeah.
So it is different than the Blues, which have those players like Al McInnes, who is here forever. But it's just so exciting. I will say this. We talked to Mitch Maurice of the Luligans. They have been wanting, obviously, a team for a long time. And he said it feels surreal. He said it feels like I'm a guest here. It doesn't feel like ours because it feels so incredible. And I thought that's exactly what it was. If you would have told me, well, this is a pop-up stadium, you don't get to keep it, but this is a pop-up, you're going to have this for a weekend, and this is what it would be like to have a major league team. But to know that this is ours, oh my gosh, St. Louis should be so excited.
And everybody is. And by the way, this was cool last night. It's going to be extremely different, a lot more intense, a lot more demand, a lot more excitement in the spring when they start.
Yeah.
When they start for real with the big club. Like this was, everything about this was cool yesterday, and it's going to get even bigger in the lead up to the spring. That was what went on last night. We're happy to have that first match here for you right here on KMOX, and we'll look forward to doing more of that in the not too distant future. Coming up next, former Vice President Mike Pence is selling a book, and he's telling some stories. And he's telling stories that don't seem to match with what we saw. You're going to hear from him coming up next on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children that they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things, for our planet. Planning a road trip to visit family and friends this holiday season? Now is the perfect time to make sure your car is getting optimal gas mileage. First, check your tires and make sure they are inflated to proper pressure. Remove heavy items like golf clubs from your car and plan on packing light. And minimize stops on longer trips to help maximize your fuel economy. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
You have more control over how much you pay in taxes when you retire than at any other time in your life. Don't miss Your Retirement Professors, Saturday afternoons at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
Hotel St. Louis is looking forward to sharing Thanksgiving at your home or ours. Bring your party to Union 30 or take Union 30 home. Either way, Hotel St. Louis does the hard part. Traditional turkey or ham with all the trimmings, sides, and desserts to choose from. Relax and enjoy the feast with your guests in your home or at the magnificent Union 30 in the historic St. Louis Hotel. To order or make reservations, call Union 30 this week at 314-241-4300. That's 314-241-4300. 4300.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No. We tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our client's best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomes.louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-328-8000.
Suburban Leisure Center's showroom is glowing with all kinds of beautiful Christmas trees, 4.5 to 12 foot in all shapes and colors. Come see our huge selection of lifelike Christmas trees that stay lit. You get that fresh cut look without the mess, and you don't have to worry about burned out bulbs. You're sure to find that perfect tree at Suburban Leisure Center. Shop now. Trees are scarce this year. Hurry in while supplies last on Olive 1 mile west of 141 or check us out at suburbanleisurecenter.com, home of the Big Red Chair.
News, talk, sports. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
At 10:21 on the show, Chris Ranji, Amy Marks, course, Kevin Wheeler with you here on a Thursday. Major Garrett's going to join us after the 10:30 news.
So last night, I don't know if you watched, but Mike Pence, by the way, over the last 36, 48 hours, has done a few interviews. ABC had a one-on-one with him. CBS had a one-on-one with him. And then there was a town hall last night. Jake Tapper hosted it, and Pence was there answering questions from Tapper, answering questions from people in the crowd, you know, how they do town halls, pre-selected people. And he talked about a number of different things last night. And what I think most people are interested in is how he reacted post January 6th. We all know about the hang Mike Pence chants that were taking place in the crowd and his, him having to hide in the garage area of the Capitol building for his safety. And he talked about meeting with Trump after that happened.
But I walked into the room and the president's chief of staff was present, but he quickly left. The president looked up at me and he asked if Karen and Charlotte were okay. And I said tersely, "They're fine, Mr. President." And he said, "Were you scared?" And I said, "No, I was angry. I was angry about the differences we had, and I was I told him seeing those people ransacking the Capitol infuriated me. But we sat for more than an hour and a half, and I was candid with the president about my disappointment. And I must tell you that I sensed the president was deeply remorseful in that moment. Now, I know that's at odds with people's public perception about him, but I want to tell you it was true. I could tell he was saddened by what had happened. And we spoke through it that day. And I encouraged him to pray. He told me many times that he was a believer, and I told him, well, turn to Jesus, hoping that he would find the comfort there that I was finding in that moment. In the days that followed, I made my way back in that office for another meeting, and the president, days later, was still what I would call downcast. His voice was fainter than I ever remember at any time in our 4.5 years together. And after we finished talking through some end of the administration business, I reminded him that I was praying for him. And he was dismissive about it. But as our meeting came to a close, I stood up, and he was seated at that small table. And I looked at him and I said, I guess there's just two things we'll probably never agree on. And he looked up and said, what? And I referred to my role on January 6th. And then I said, I'm never going to stop praying for you. And he smiled faintly and said, that's right. Don't ever change.
Okay, so that's Pence at the town hall. And I guys, I
nice
hate
story,
to
bro.
I hate to editorialize here, but I feel like the only part of that I believed was I prayed for him and he was dismissive.
Yeah, no.
That was it.
That was, to be honest, there's a lot to take in there. The whole idea that Trump seemed deeply remorseful or sad.
I do not believe that for a second.
No, I mean, look at Twitter, Truth Social, look at every statement he's made, not just since that time, but during that time. There was no remorse, no contrition. I do believe that, Pence is a man of faith and he prays for the president. He prayed for the president that day and he continues to. I believe all of that.
I do too.
But any of Trump's real reflection on his actions and remorse and contrition, that I don't buy, because there has been nothing manifested, said, or shown by Trump to support that.
I don't know how you walk into that room. If you're Mike Pence and your safety was threatened.
Yeah.
And I know that they were all worried. The Secret Service was clearly afraid for him. He was afraid. I don't know how you walk in that room after the fact and not say, you blinking blinker. Don't you ever do that again. Yeah. I will come across this table and choke you to death. Like, how would a reasonable person, that's how they might react when somebody almost gets them killed.
Well, and have the Capitol, how he was infuriated when the Capitol was stormed. Again, the whole idea of, I said, turn to Jesus. I would say, stop your blinking rhetoric and stop these blinking people.
Like, that would make you do it.
That would make me do it and go, and then turn to Jesus, but stop the people from tearing down the Capitol at the moment. Again, I absolutely believe Pence is a man of faith and takes that genuinely, and that he is praying for Trump. But to pretend, and again, I don't want to assume any of his motivations, but
I will.
Trump, come on. He's not remorseful.
He wants people's votes, and I got news for him. Mike, those people aren't going to vote for you.
They wanted to hang
They're
you.
not into you. They were chanting, hang Mike Pence. Not all of them. I'm not saying every MAGA. I want to be clear about that, because some people get mad when you talk. I'm talking about the group of people that you're going to have to win over to become the president. And it includes all of it, the normal people and the people that are a little bit further outside the norm. They're not going to vote for you.
Look,
they're not.
They're not.
And by the way, Trump doesn't care about you.
No.
And that's
if he did, he wouldn't have tweeted at 2:24 p.m. in the middle of all of that on January 6th. He wouldn't have tweeted Mike Pence didn't have the courage to do what should have been done.
And
if he cared about
telling people
you,
privately he deserved it.
Yeah.
If he wants to be supportive of people, Trump voters, and even the more extreme Trump voters, those who were there on January 6th, you don't have to do so by trying to defend the indefensible actions of the former president. What you could do is criticize his actions and criticize how he led people astray, how there are many people who are strong patriots, and that he conned them.
I appreciate Mike Pence for doing his job on that day.
He stood in the gap.
Absolutely appreciate him for that. He doesn't have to couch it now.
No.
He does not have to do this.
He's also never going to be president, which is another part of this whole thing. Like, dude, get over it. It's not happening. You missed out on the chance. You don't have the personality. It's not going to happen. Major Garrett's going to join us when we come back from the news here on the show.
Weeknights at 6. It's Sports Open Line.
Welcome into the program. My name is Matt Pauley.
Matt gets you inside the world of sports. Cardinals, Chiefs, Pelicans. You'll get it all and much more.
We have an exclusive podcast that's Cardinals related.
Plus great guests, insight, and conversations with you.
If you want to join us, you can do so by calling or texting.
Sports Open Line. You don't want to miss it. Weeknights at 6 on America's Sports Voice. KMOX.
Hey, it's Trish Gazelle for Ophthalmology Associates, the office of Dr. Greg Birdie, Dr. Ranjan Malhotra, Dr. Robert Brusati, and Dr. Andy Royer. I went there over 20 years ago for my LASIK procedure. Couldn't be happier 20 years later. They are the doctors, and that's their nickname because they have treated more than 250 doctors, more than any other practice. And Dr. Birdie and Dr. Malhotra are cornea surgeons and experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye, dry eye, allergy eye, cataracts, macular degeneration, glaucoma, and LASIK surgery. Call for an appointment today. Doctors Greg Birdie, Dr. Ranjan Malhotra, Dr. Robert Brusati, and Dr. Andy Royer, 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com. They're located off Manchester Road, 12990 Manchester Road, a half mile west of 270 on eastbound Manchester Road. Again, for more information, call Ophthalmology Associates at 314-966-5000 or go to youridoc.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman. You can find us online at claymangroup.com, KLAMEN group.com. We've been buying a lot of houses lately with foundation and water damage. So if you have a house that has water issues, maybe water's coming in the basement or problems from previous water damage such as mold, we're interested in making you an all-cash offer. If you have a house with water or mold damage, foundation issues, please reach out. Complete the form online and start the conversation today. claimandgroup.com, KLAMEN group.com.
At 10:30, we have sunny skies. It's 33 degrees. It feels like 25 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi expected to address her plans with colleagues in the wake of Democrats narrowly losing control of the House. She is set to open the House at noon today and then deliver remarks from the floor. Buffalo and surrounding communities bracing for a major lake effect storm. It's expected to dump 2 to 3 feet of snow. Governor Kathy Hochul declared a state of emergency for the region. We're seeing a big increase in the number of flu cases across the area. WashU Infectious Diseases Dr. Stephen Lawrence says don't wait any longer to get that flu shot.
We already are seeing peaks much higher than what we saw last year. And so the benefit of vaccine is going to be highest when you know that there's going to be a lot of flu around, and we already know that there is.
He says the flu shots take about 2 weeks to become fully effective. What did it sound like inside City Park last night from the supporters section where they stand the entire game? And what did fans think about the big night at the new stadium?
Been waiting for a while for this baby to open up. It's been held up for a little bit, but tonight we're finally opening it up. We're going to do it right.
And in other sports news, 30 minutes ago, XFL 2023 season tickets went on sale. Each team will play 5 home games with regular season ticket packages available starting at $100 in all cities except for the St. Louis Battlehawks, which will start at $125. There's a stalled vehicle 270 westbound before Elizabeth Avenue. The right lane is closed. It could reopen in 10 minutes. A stall 64 westbound before Mason Road on the right shoulder. The KMOX forecast sponsored by Reinhold Flooring. Breezy, not as cold as yesterday. Early sun giving way to more clouds, the high of 44 degrees, some flurries, even a snow shower later this afternoon into tonight where it will turn frigid. Overnight low of 22. The temperature, though, will drop into the single digits heat index wise. Right now it's sunny 33, feels like 25. Want beautiful first class flooring at competitive prices? Call Reinhold Flooring with professional craftsmen and a knowledgeable caring sales staff that helped earn them St. Louis Magazine's best flooring store 2 years in a row. Set up a free in-home measuring consultation at reinholdflooring.com. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
Is there something really absurd that skeeves you out?
Getting a paper cut on my eyeball.
A fear you can't shake?
I'm going to leak ocular fluid down my cheeks. It's going to go into my mouth and I will perish.
Whatever scares you, I want to talk about it. Join me, Larry Mullins, on my new podcast, Your Weirdest Fears. Listen and subscribe to Your Weirdest Fears on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts from.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health, suicide, or substance use crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There is hope. The Lifeline works. 988 for 24/7 confidential support. A message from the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's here. Diamonds Direct's amazing pre-holiday store-wide sale. This weekend, 3 days of extra savings store-wide. That's an extra 20% off all earrings, all bracelets, all bands, all pendants, all fashion jewelry. Virtually everything in every case is on sale. The lowest prices of the year, and your last chance for store-wide savings before Christmas. You can't miss this. Engagement rings on sale. Eternity bands on sale. Exclusive designer jewelry on sale. Details at diamondsdirect.com. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only. And only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
The heavy sigh. It's usually a sign of being overwhelmed, as if to say, I can't believe this is happening. Steve All at the All Financial Group has seen those feelings from the people who walk through his doors. If you feel overwhelmed about planning for retirement, call 636-230-8824 and get more details online at yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory services offered through All Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuity products offered through Stephen All, Missouri license 8039738.
Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice, KMOX.
10:35 on a Thursday here on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Box Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Zeppelin is playing. That means Major Garrett is on the other side of the line. Major, good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning.
That's a nice little feel-good, wake-you-up
Yeah,
song,
it is.
isn't it? I like that one. That made me happy.
Led Zeppelin will always make you happy.
Although, you know what I realized? You know how some people wake up to music that's their alarm or whatever?
That's
I
me,
have
yeah.
discovered I can't do that because I hate any noise that wakes me up.
Oh.
So then I start to hate my music.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
No.
You can't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. So I'm sure that you watched or you've seen at least some of the Pence interviews. He's had a few one-on-ones over the last couple of days. Last night, he said that he met with Trump after January 6th and said he thought Trump was remorseful. Do you buy that?
I believe that is the former vice president's interpretation of the former president. I'm not sure the former president was ever or has ever been remorseful about January 6th. But he spent time with him. I didn't. And I believe what Pence says about his interpretation.
What do you think is kind of, I don't want to say what the motivating here, because I don't want you to have to read his mind, but I mean, is this something trying to set himself up as part of the picture in 2024? Because I know he's referenced in recent days that we will have better choices, or Republicans will have better choices in the coming years.
Yes. People need to remember that in 2016 and 2015, there was a conversation that people close to the former vice president, then Indiana Governor Mike Pence, were having about running for president. He never did. He'd never get it off the ground, but he thought about it then. He's thinking about it now. There's no question about it. This book, So Help Me God, is meant to be a way to say you can get the Trump agenda. Evangelicals, you can get someone who actually walks the walk and believes the talk, and you don't have to have all the other things that come with former President Trump. I'm a really credible alternative. Plenty of Republicans think that is a dead-end lane, that's not a lane at all, that there is too much that Pence has that's wrapped up in the Trump mentality, and the Trump policy successes as they are perceived, but also is disqualifying among the very base Trump voters that you would need to achieve success in the battle for Republican nomination. So Pence is thinking about it. Quite clearly, he's thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to position himself as an alternative, but he's not quite prepared to say, I am the alternative. No Republican is yet. And one thing I would remind everyone who's talking about, oh, the Trump brand is suffering. It is. Trump is vulnerable. He is. But that doesn't mean he's knocked out or can be knocked out. And when you see someone like former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo say, we need leaders who or that, until someone says, Trump is wrong, I'm against him, I'm better than him, this is all still too vague.
Major, you mentioned the former president. You also used the word disqualifying in a different context, but it does bring me to my next question. Trump announced earlier this week that he intends to run as the Republican nominee for president. Now, he has copious legal issues. I guess there are multiple investigations.
Yep.
Is there anything out there that could potentially be disqualifying? How is he still able to throw his name into the hat?
So look, the way our system functions is, and I wrote a book about this, so I quite clearly believe in it, the people decide what is disqualifying and what isn't. There were plenty of things described as disqualifying about Donald Trump as a candidate and as a Republican nominee. And if we all remember, it seems like 100 million years ago, but it wasn't that long ago, the Access Hollywood tape for that weekend after its disclosure created a groundswell of efforts and conversation among Republicans nationwide to dump Trump from the ticket. It didn't happen. He released an apology video, and he basically said, I'm not budging, and you can't dislodge me. And I only bring up that sequence of events to remind people that's, in a different context, exactly where the Republican Party finds itself now. Trump saying, you can't dislodge me. And what do I mean by that? The former president announced, I was in the ballroom at Mar-a-Lago, he believes he can win the nomination. Whether or not he can beat the Democratic nominee in a general election, completely separate question. But remember, you can't answer the second question until you've affirmatively answered the first. There's an old saying in politics, anyone in America can grow up to be president, provided you're the nominee via the Democratic or Republican Party. Okay?
Yeah.
In the modern era, you got to be the nominee first. You can't answer the second question until you've achieved an answer to the first. And Trump thinks, look, I've got state and local parties who are with me. They've become much more Trumpian in the last 6 years. That's a fact. I've got $100 million of hard money. That's a fact. I've got a digital operation run by Brad Parscale since 2015 that has contacts with 54 million Americans. No one in politics, Republican or Democrat, comes close to that. I have huge events, and I can create headlines relentlessly. I am a headline-making machine. He believes that. Whether that's true or not, I'm not quite sure. But he believes that. He believes he has all those structural advantages that Ron DeSantis would crave but doesn't have, Glenn Youngkin would crave but doesn't have, Mike Pence, Mike Pompeo, anyone else they don't have. He believes those are structural advantages, and until he's dislodged, he's the odds-on favorite. And Republicans who want to move on from Trump better get themselves very comfortable and strategically aware of those strategic advantages that former President Trump still possesses, because it will not be easy to dislodge him.
Major, as expected, we learned yesterday the Republicans will control the House. Not going to be a very big margin, but they are going to have control. We've heard about their intentions to investigate Biden and to get rid of the J6 committee. What do you think their agenda is really going to be, and how far can they take it?
So remember this. There are two enormous powers that the party that controls the House of Representatives possess. The power of the purse, all appropriations measures, meaning everything that we spend starts in the House of Representatives. Same thing with taxation. Those are structural powers that matter. So the Biden spending agenda, it's now going to be checked, so long as Republicans can keep all their slender majority in line. And they probably will on those two key questions. So the Biden administration will be checked there, taxation, spending. Whatever they do, meaning the White House, on those two issues will have to now flow through a House Republican majority. That's significant. As long as Republicans can keep themselves together and organized and coherent. And that's going to be an enormous task, because if you have a majority in the House of 1 or 2 votes only, meaning if you don't have 1 or 2 people on your side voting the way you want, the other side, meaning the Democrats, can win on any given question. So they've got to keep in lockstep. On the investigative front, on this radio station and many others, a couple of months ago, I had James Comer from Kentucky on. He will lead the Oversight Committee. We spent 2 segments going over all the reasons he thinks Hunter Biden should be investigated and may have done things of significant criminal import. You can go back in the archives, listen to that. That's a roadmap for that line of investigation. He also said they're going to investigate, if they can, the origins of COVID. There's clearly going to be an investigation into what happened in the withdrawal of Afghanistan. Those 3 are locked and loaded, guaranteed. Those 3 things are going to happen. Whether it goes to a investigation that leads to an impeachment or an attempted impeachment or censuring it somehow of Alejandro Mayorkas, head of Department of Homeland Security, over border issues, be prepared for that. I would say those 4 areas in January, February, and March, you're going to see a lot of headlines.
Major, going back to that idea of keeping the party in line, because you do have a very slim majority now on the Republican side, how much deal making does that take? Or does leadership eventually settle on the people that we still need to convince, the people that are maybe a little bit further on the fringes of the party, still are going to come along with us because they like us more than they like that other side?
That's certainly possible. But look, everything in the House is done at the behest of the party that exerts majority control, okay? The House does not function like the Senate. The Senate is a continuous body, and it has very informal rules that are basically enforced by whatever vote totals you can put up at any given time. The House operates strictly on the power of the majority, and the power of the majority is organized through application of majority votes. And when you lose a majority vote, you have lost control for that issue. So every question that comes before the House of Representatives, every question will have to be carried out by a majority vote of the Republicans. And on any question, whether it's defense spending or defense policy or things related to the judiciary or abortion, anything, any question at all that comes before the House, the Republicans have to have everyone in step. And if they don't, they will lose that vote and lose that control. And if you don't think Democrats procedurally will try to pick off Republicans every single place they can, they will. Here's just one example. Kevin McCarthy, the incoming Speaker of the House, said he wants to get rid of proxy voting. Nancy Pelosi, as Speaker, used proxy voting during COVID, meaning you don't have to be present to vote. You can give your vote to someone else and they can vote by proxy for you. Republicans thought this basically let Democrats not have to do their jobs. I'm going to predict this. Kevin McCarthy will warm up to proxy voting because if he has a single absence or 2, he doesn't have a functional Republican majority. And if all Democrats are present, they do. Proxy voting, meaning, hey, I can't be there for one reason or another, may be something that Republicans, though ideologically opposed to it, may have to practically embrace just to maintain their majority control of the House of Representatives.
Major, before we let you go, I know this is probably a bigger question, but yesterday the Senate voted 62-37 to pass the Respect for Marriage Act, which would codify same-sex marriage rights. It would also repeal the Defense of Marriage Act, which was signed by President Bill Clinton. It's now headed to the House. What do we need to know about that bill and its future in the House?
So it's going to pass. I mean, it definitely will. In a lame duck session, with the Democrats in control of the House, it will pass. And it had Republican support in the Senate, had Republican support in the House. And this is essentially the backwards way things typically happen. So the court is designed to adjudicate laws passed by Congress. In this case, the court defined a long time ago in Loving versus Virginia, the right to interracial marriage under the Constitution. It was never put in federal law. Then it found a right to same-sex marriage. The court decided those issues on constitutional grounds. It was always open to Congress to pass laws to this effect, but the political support wasn't there. It is there now. So this has now flowed through the people, the House and the Senate, not the Supreme Court, which, if the founders were here and we were able to poll them, they would say that's the way we would prefer it to be. flow through Congress, then go to the court, not flow through the court and go through Congress. But in whichever way, this is now going to happen, and rights that were once regarded as fragile or inconceivable, most of our country's history did not permit interracial marriage, it does now, are going to be codified through federal law, meaning they will be much more stable and not the purview any longer of a now conservative-dominated Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court has said, if Congress does it, fine. We don't think the Supreme Court possesses that power. Now the people do, and through their expression at the Congress, it's going to happen.
Major, you are the best. I know this will be the last time we speak to you before Thanksgiving, so you and the family have a great Thanksgiving. We'll look forward to talking to you again down the road, and we really do appreciate the fact that you come on with us every week and really give us the details that you do. You're the best. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You've got it. Major Garrett on Twitter, by the way, at Major CBS, Chief Washington Correspondent for CBS News. His book is The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie, and you can find out about that on Twitter, at Major CBS. All right, trending next here on the show.
Get ready for a one-of-a-kind audio-visual experience. Timeless and everlasting. KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra, The Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. Live in concert, 3 p.m. Saturday, December 10th at Enterprise Center. Don't miss this holiday tradition. $1 of each ticket sold to the 3 p.m. show will go to SSM Health Cardinal Glennon. Get full ticket and show details on the events page at KMOX.com.
Now, the holiday music, a perfect lead-in to the Tree of Hope campaign. This is where SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital reaches out to you at this time of year for help. Because, look, there are a lot of families that need help. They do such amazing work at Cardinal Glennon. If you talk to the people who work there, you talk to the families who have had their children go through. Talked recently with a family, and we're going to play this interview coming up here in the not-too-distant future, but their newborn son had to have heart surgery like right away and has had to have multiple heart surgeries. These are things that can't be done everywhere, but they can be done at Cardinal Glennon, and they're going to take care of everybody regardless of their ability to pay. A lot of the things that are needed, a lot of treatments that are needed are not always covered by insurance, but they're going to take care of it at Cardinal Glennon, and they can because of you. Text 20357 or go to KMOX.com/Cardinal Glennon to make a donation to be a part of the Tree of Hope campaign. I know you get a lot of requests at this time of year. This one, obviously, very important. We're talking about the lives of young children. We're talking about the families having to deal with the difficulties that come with kids that are facing serious illnesses. If you want to hear about those stories and learn more about them, go to glennon.org/our-patients. They're very moving. It's an important part of understanding why this works. And by the way, this help gives aid all year round, not just in the holiday season. This is stuff that helps all year round. You can donate at 20357 on the text or go to KMOX.com/Cardinal Glennon.
You know, the Midwest Money slogan, isn't cash in the bank better than scrap in the drawer? This is Johnny Rabbit. Midwest Money, the oldest coin shop in St. Louis. Buying, selling, and trading since 1971. Silver and gold, coins, sterling silver, flags, medals, daggers, and more. Not sure what you have? Bring your collectibles to someone you can trust. Midwest Money, at the corner of Hampton and Holly Hills. You'll be happy you did.
This is Debbie Monterey with a real estate update and some insight for my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria told me that sitting on the sidelines may not be the best strategy moving forward in this continually shifting market. Homes aren't selling as quickly, and in most cases, price reductions are becoming pretty common. Gloria also said that earlier this year, with low inventory, sellers didn't need a strategy to sell homes because homes were listed and sold immediately. Now more than ever, it's crucial to have a proven strategy to get your home sold, and that's why I strongly suggest you call local real estate expert Gloria Liu before you list your home to get the absolute most money. Gloria is so confident that she will sell your home, she'll guarantee in writing upfront to sell it at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she'll buy your home herself. Learn more by calling Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Hey there, it's Hancock and Kelly for First Mid-Bank and Trust, a local bank right here in St. Louis with over 157 years of experience and 19 locations across the greater St. Louis area.
Yeah, First Mid-Bank and Trust is perfect for small business owners. You need a partner that you can count on, and that is First Mid-Bank and Trust, and they're great for everybody, whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement. Check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
Home Sweet Home mission is to give underserved families a sense of pride and to improve the quality of their lives by providing basic household furnishings. To learn more, go to homesweethomestl.org.
The holidays are upon us. Call Zero Res now before the rush. Get 3 rooms Zero Res clean starting at just $129 and get a free room of fiber protectant for an $80 savings plus $50 off your air ducts. Call 314-474-2020 or book online at ZeroResSTL.com.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Chris Ranji.
Wonderful bones, great eyes, and you dress really interesting.
On the show.
What is it? What's happened?
What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened?
I need to know.
Trending now on the show.
All right, trending is brought to you by Old Town Donuts in Florissant and Cottleville. There's a lot going on, Mr. Ranji.
There is. Guess what, guys?
What?
Candidate for governor of Arizona, Kari Lake, has conceded gracefully to her opponent, Katie Hobbs.
That's a lie.
Just kidding. She's totally going to challenge everything. And she just put out a video on her Twitter account talking about how people had to wait long lines and therefore we know something bad happened. Yeah, she lost. She lost. She's going to challenge. She's going to lose again. Whatever. But I can't wait till she goes away forever.
I can live with anybody challenging close results. That's fine.
Yeah.
Just
fine.
Don't start making accusations without evidence.
Yeah.
You got evidence? Let's see it. Let's hear it. Let's bring it to court.
Kevin,
let's go.
You don't like unfounded conspiracy theories?
Kevin?
I really enjoy reading them, but no, I don't want to believe them.
She is in the process of collecting evidence.
Okay.
So
we better get it going quick.
Can't
that process
wait
better
to
not
see
take
it.
too long.
In other skeevy news, Hunter Biden is trending.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sure that's good.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Hunter Biden is super skeevy
Yes.
and probably illegal. But
Yes.
House Republicans have alleged that President Joe Biden was directly involved in the business dealings with his son, Hunter Biden.
All right, let's see it. Let's go. Bring the evidence. Bring it.
To
Bring
what
it.
Major was saying, that the House Republicans, that the House will
So
investigate that.
claim whatever you want if you're going to back it up. That's cool. Like whatever. But let's see it. Let's hear it. Let's go.
But it is, I mean, it's, yes, absolutely. You can look into it. You have to look at nepotism and back alley deals and things that are under the table. And
are we looking at Jared Kushner and Ivanka next?
Right,
or?
right. No, you have to look at that.
But they were totally qualified for the position they were hired for.
Okay. All
But-
right, never mind.
By
it will-
birth, right? Yeah. By
What
birth.
will be interesting is that I don't think this conversation, not the one we're having, but the Hunter Biden, the laptop conversation, I'm not sure that one is one that will be had with a level head.
Hey, again, all I want is evidence. Show me evidence of anything. I'm in.
If Hunter
It's
Biden
fine.
committed a crime, then he should be
But I
punished.
think they did find that. They're looking
Fine.
now to how involved was President Joe Biden.
And again, if it's there and there's a connection, bye, see you later, go away. I'm all good. Just stop telling me, start showing me.
Yep.
Stop saying, start doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
That's all.
they did with Hunter Biden. So I'm not sure.
Well, I
We'll
mean,
have to follow it
has
and
he
see what
been-
they find.
I mean, I know he's being investigated, but the investigation's not over.
It's not over. No,
so
but
once it's over, we'll know, okay, he's going to jail or he's not, whatever.
Yeah, and we know that they found substantial, evidence that
Oh, yeah.
some oily deals were happening, but we shall see.
Let's investigate all of them equally then.
Can we just get rid of everyone?
I'm sure there's
How did
someone
we-
in K-pop who has a birthday today.
I don't know how
There's always a K-pop birthday.
how did we get to this?
How? Well, we don't have enough
It's been
time for
long
that.
and winding. You're right. We definitely don't have enough time for it. Maybe another day. Maybe another day. Although I don't know when that day's going to come.
Bring your family to the 4th annual Moolah Festival of Trees to experience a winter wonderland with over 40 exquisitely decorated Christmas trees with amazing gift packages November 19th through 26th at the Moolah Shrine. Purchase raffle tickets for just $1 for a chance to take home one or more of these creative and beautifully designed trees, including the gifts, which include toys, tools, sports items, kayaks, barbecue pits, gift cards, and even a complete HVAC system for your home. Tree values range from $500 to over $12,000. The Festival of Trees is an exciting Christmas event for all ages. You can take a souvenir photo with Santa Claus to capture a memory of the spirit of Christmas. And be sure to visit Santa's Cafe for some refreshing treats. Adult admission is $2. Kids 12 and under are free at the Moolah Shrine Center at 12545 Fifi Road. Details at moolah.org.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
Your home of the Chiefs. This is KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Now your Bite This Network traffic report. It looks like every vehicle in the country is currently headed to Hardee's for a saucy A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99. You heard that right. Every single car, truck, and annoying electric scooter thing, all heading to Hardee's. But don't take a detour. Hit the brakes on your hunger with a Charbroil Double Deal. Bite into the new A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99, only at Hardee's. Tax not included, available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price may vary. A1 is a registered trademark of Kraft Foods used with permission.
Be a part of St. Louis's newest holiday tradition at the Rep. Journey into the magical wonderland of the timeless classic, A Christmas Carol. Performances November 18th through December 30th. Tickets on sale at repstl.org.
Sail with American Queen Voyages in North America's mighty rivers, Great Lakes, oceans, and expeditions to the wilds of Alaska. Call 844-744-0794 or contact your travel professional.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11 o'clock, it's sunny and 36 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour. Customs and Border Protection says 3 agents have been shot and wounded in an exchange of gunfire with a smuggling boat off of Puerto Rico. Chesterfield's mayor and the Parkway School District CFO don't agree on the numbers when it comes to the new development and TIF at the old Chesterfield Mall.
For one, Patty Bedborough with Parkway says the planned apartments will add more students. By their count, 1 student for every 4 units, or a 25% increase. Mayor Bob Nations disagrees and says he's spoken to similar developments and asked,
how many students do you have living there? Their first response was 5 or 6. Also said that most of these are transient. They're people who are moving in from out of the area. They're waiting for homes to be built, and many of those go to attend private schools.
Bedborough says even the mayor's numbers would be tough to handle.
Even with those estimates going down to 10% over the first 23 years of the TIF, that still puts us at an operating loss of $44 million.
Nation says Parkway District has been losing students and thinks they'd want to boost enrollment. He also says the TIF is a hybrid that would see the district capturing some of the additional revenue generated. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is expected to address her plans with colleagues in the wake of Democrats narrowly losing control of the House to Republicans. Pelosi's decision whether to seek another term as the Democratic leader or to step aside has been widely anticipated. Just because recreational marijuana will be legal in the state of Missouri doesn't mean employers have to accept it in the workplace. KMOX legal analyst Brad Young says Missouri law allows employers to do several types of testing.
You can do pre-employment drug testing, you can do post-accident drug testing, and you can do random drug testing. All of those have been in Missouri for a long time and will continue to do so.
Young tells Total Information AM that testing can be used to detect both active marijuana in someone's system or recently used marijuana. He adds those tests can be grounds for discipline or termination. About 250,000 Ram pickups are being recalled because of a possible transmission fluid leak. Auto reporter Jeff Gilbert has that.
These are the big Ram 2500 heavy-duty pickups, certain 2020 through 23 models. The company found that when heat builds up in the transmission, fluid can leak from the dipstick. That combination could lead to a fire. One injury, described as a minor burn to the hands, has been reported.
The First Mid-Bank and Trust business desks, Starbucks workers at more than 100 U.S. stores are on strike. It's the largest labor action since a campaign to unionize Starbucks stores began late last year. The walkouts are scheduled to coincide with Starbucks' annual Red Cup Day, when the company gives out free reusable cups to customers who order a holiday drink. The Dow from Stifel's down 23 points to 33,530. And we've got some emergency vehicles on 270 going north before Gravois. A stall 6440 going east at Route N on the right shoulder. A stall 270 west before Elizabeth. That's got the right lane closed.
KMOX AccuWeather this afternoon. Breezy, not as cold as yesterday. Early sun, more clouds this afternoon. High 44. Then some flurries and snow showers tonight. Down to 22. Real feels single digits. Colder tomorrow. Back up to just 33. Real feels only in the 20s in the afternoon. Low 40s as we moderate the cold for the weekend. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. Are you considering life insurance? Penn Mutual's accelerated client experience makes applying for life insurance fast and easy. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. It's a partly cloudy sky, 35 in Florissant, 37 in St. Peters, and 36 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
All right, it's 10:04 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. And obviously, a whole lot coming your way as we go through the day today. Matt Pauley is going to join us at 12:30. A little bit more on last night's opening match at City Park. We'll be talking a bit about the Cards off season, some Blues a little bit later on as well. Right now, we have Beavis Schock in studio with us. Now, he's a civil rights attorney at Schock Law. First of all, it's great to meet you for the first time. Thanks for coming in and joining us. We appreciate that.
Kevin, Chris, and Amy, I am delighted to be here, and we'll have at it hard topic today.
Well, we do. Yeah. I mean, it's been in the news now for a couple of years, right? You've been handling stories involving people that are out panhandling and defending the rights of them to do that. But obviously, every city is trying to maybe look at it a slightly different way because now it's illegal based on, was it the 2021 case of Robert Fernandez that kind of made it clear that that it's legal to do this in St. Louis County?
Yes, what happened was St. Louis County had a very aggressive law that said a person had to have a license to stand on a street corner with a sign and have the sign ask for money. At the very beginning of the case, Judge Limbaugh, Rush Limbaugh's cousin, said to the county, you guys got to understand that you got a pretty tough case here to make, but they decided to have at it for a couple of years, which they did, and we crushed them into oblivion, and they had to pay a lot of money to my guy who's no longer homeless because he used his $150,000 to buy a house, and I got a whole bunch of money out of it, so that was a good day.
Well, thanks for joining us. Congratulations.
That's a good setup to the story.
Okay, so the saga continues because now you have a lawsuit against the city of Des Peres.
Well, here's what happened. My client, Robert Fernandez, decided that he would rather work in Des Peres, and the specific spot he has is traffic northbound on 270 coming to Manchester eastbound, which is toward the shopping center. Mm-hmm. And there's a triangle there, and he likes to work that triangle. Traffic comes to a stop at the light. He does what they all do. We're all familiar with this. He stands at the top of the hill. The light turns red, and then as the cars back up, he walks down, trying to catch the eye, holding his sign. He doesn't bang on the windows. He doesn't scream at anybody. And he hopes somebody will give him money and enough due that it makes it worthwhile for him to continue to do it.
So I know this isn't the point of the lawsuit, but I just got to ask what I'm sure other people are thinking. And my first thought is, if you want $150,000 and he has a house, how come he's not doesn't have a more traditional job than begging for money?
Great question. Guys like Robert Fernandez are not suited to get up at 9 o'clock and go to work. They just don't like that lifestyle, and they're American citizens. And even though everybody in this room and probably 80% of the listeners get up in the morning and go to the job and do it well, some people are not suited for that. They refuse to do it. If you give them a job, they won't keep it. And that's just how life is.
I'm not trying to be bombastic, but like nobody likes to go to work. Like just as a person, my reaction is like, well, sorry, Robert, life sucks. Get a job.
Well, but wait a minute. If he can live a life without getting a job, he's a person at liberty. He doesn't have to get a job. I mean, I suspect that your lifestyle is different than his because you have a lot more money. You have
get $150,000.
Well, that was a one-day thing, but he doesn't have ongoing revenue to pay for his food and everything else. And this is what he chooses to do.
Yeah.
And
I'll back away from this because I know that that's not the law. The law is not fighting whether or not you should get a job. The law is about whether or not you have a constitutional right to panhandle.
Right.
I just had to bring up that point of Parliament because it doesn't engender a lot of sympathy from me, but I understand that the right of someone to panhandle is what you're discussing, not necessarily Robert himself who chooses not to work.
Yeah, I guess my feeling about that is there are a lot of people who do stupid things and get paid for them. So like he should be allowed to do the same thing too. But I think there's a more legitimate question here about there being an actual safety issue, whether it's him or the drivers or whatever. That argument I can listen to. What do you say to people who say, well, folks who stand in the middle or wherever he stands or wherever anybody stands to collect, that it might be a safety problem?
Well, it is a safety problem. So first, let's distinguish between a smart guy like Robert. If you can imagine what I just described, where he stands on that triangle, he's actually on the driver's side.
Mm-hmm.
So all he's going to do is put one foot off the curb into the street, reach his hand out, and the person in the car, in the driver's seat, window down, is going to reach toward his hand and turn over the dollar. Now, that's a little different than the people who are all over the place walking down the middle of the intersections. So take the city of St. Louis, the area around Skinker and Forest Park Expressway, all around in there. There are lots of people, and they're walking right down between the rows who line up at those very busy intersections. And the city has no law about the safety issue. So we just ignore it. Now, I want to be formalistic and say that in the law, the city, the government has an interest in safety, not only of the traffic, the driver of the car, but the person who's doing the panhandling.
Right.
So there's sort of a paternalistic aspect to it. We want to protect the panhandler. Now, the issue that comes up is if the law, and we'll get into the fine points of the Constitution for a very brief period, or everybody will go to sleep. But when we look at safety, it is for Robert, I think, a little bit his choice to bear that risk. And then the question is the government using safety as what we call in the law a pretext? That's not their real interest. They don't give a darn about Robert Fernandez. What they care about is that their citizens are calling City Hall saying, get rid of that gross guy who smells and doesn't look like my kids look, and I don't want him around. That's what we think is going on. It's a pretext.
Yeah, and the question, we kind of started to get into this before we started the interview on air, but there's a bigger picture here too, right? I mean, this case, Robert Fernandez is one person that won a lawsuit and who came into this money, but this is a much larger problem, and you can look right outside the window and see this is a much bigger problem. You see a lot of this going on in downtown, especially. What about the bigger picture? And because it's a multi-layered problem, it's not an easy one to solve, but this is more than just about a few people out in the suburbs, right?
Absolutely. So let's talk about homelessness in downtown St. Louis. We have, whenever I ride my bike down here on Saturday mornings a lot, and there are all these people right in front of City Hall in that block Sometimes they have tents. The tents come and go, and none of them are getting off their rear ends to beg. They're just sitting there. I don't even know how they're getting any money at all. Now, the rulings from the federal courts have said basically the city can move them if they have a place to put them. So what the city has to do is get one of these flop house hotels, get a bunch of rooms, and then grab those people, necessary, perhaps even by arrest, and say, okay, you can't be here, but we have a place for you to go. And of course, that they stay in the room for about 5 minutes, and they go back to where they were and hang around and really cause a disturbance. And I am, as a citizen of St. Louis, I want people to come here and enjoy being here and not feel threatened and not have gross, smelly people bothering them. So I mean, I never give them money to anybody who's begging. But I'll tell you, I'll defend to the death their right to do it.
Just to clarify the rule a little bit. So if someone like Robert, a panhandler, has the right to ask for money, does that right end when that person starts becoming aggressive?
Absolutely.
Pushing on the car, pulling on the door handle, that type of thing?
Absolutely. And sometimes that happens. It used to happen a lot in New York around the Battery, which is kind of someplace in southern Manhattan, and people would drive in, and then all these guys would at a stoplight would jump out and wash their windows.
Yeah.
And then say, give me $5 for washing your window. And if you didn't do it, they'd break your windshield or something. Now, the issue there is the law says can't do aggressive panhandling. So they can't be too repetitive. They can't block your way. They can't threaten you if you don't give them money. And those are sort of the rules. But also keep in mind, a lot of panhandlers are drug addicts. Mm-hmm. And their objective every day is to get enough money to meet their supplier, which is always some street corner. I always think the cops know what's going on. How could they not? I mean, the guys are there every day at the same time, and they make a little exchange of a few dollars in exchange for some heroin or the drug of choice for that person. And it's very important to understand that the beggar does not want to go to jail, and the cops don't want to arrest the person, and it's all for the same reason. And the reason is, if the person gets arrested, they've got to go into detox in the hospital, because if they don't get their heroin, they're in withdrawal, which is a terrible medical situation for everybody involved. And so that's why these panhandlers often have their head down very low. They don't look at anybody. They're super quiet because they're afraid that they kind of know the law. If they act aggressively, then they might get arrested. Then they're into the detox. And the rule on the cost is, if the jail has somebody in who the government has arrested and goes into detox, it's on the government's dime to put them in barns and get them through it. They don't want to do that. They don't want to pay the money.
So is there I know this may not be your area of expertise, but is there a fix here? Because people are going to beg. People don't have homes. A lot of them, like you said, drug addicted. Many of them are just, they have mental illness that they're dealing with. So what do we do?
Well, because to build on that, you can't just let it go or become out of control as, panhandlers are on the rise, because even for, the safety of the community, I will say, as like a single woman driving around, I'm stopped at stoplights at Kings Highway or in the city or in Clayton or wherever. And I'm uncomfortable when there's someone like right there, right by my door. I make sure my doors are locked, and I have sympathy for someone, especially less so for Robert, but especially if like they actually are just trying to get a meal or they have addictions that they're dealing with. I don't imagine
Robert has a great lifestyle.
No, I'm not saying it is.
I don't imagine he's living high on the hog or anything.
I have a hard time for people who they need an opportunity to get a leg up, right? Robert had an opportunity, but that's his choice and he has a right to do it. But like if someone is a drug addict or someone is just trying to get a next meal, my heart goes out to them, but I also want to say stay safe, and don't necessarily always feel safe at a corner where there are panhandlers and I'm sitting in my car, I'm making sure my doors are locked, I'm just waiting for the light to turn green.
So I don't feel sorry for him at all. Let me explain why. It's the point you just made. If why would you feel sorry for Robert? In the sense that, and Chris, you said, oh, he doesn't have the lifestyle. Well, he has the lifestyle he wants.
He wants it, yeah.
I mean,
sure.
I think if a person like Robert makes a choice every day that instead of punching a clock, I mean, look, there's so many jobs in St. Louis. He could get a job at a factory, get a job at a warehouse for Amazon. He's actually a very intelligent, nice man. I've gotten to know him pretty well. One day I was driving along. I didn't even know I was going to be going by his spot. He was in a different spot. We had a brief legal conference while we were at the stoplight.
Must have been a long light.
Did you charge him?
It was a long light. Well,
did you bill him for that hour?
But back to but how do you keep it from becoming out of control, where it's just every street corner? Because that's not great.
Well, so I don't know what out of control means. They're on every street corner now. Let's say you wished to drive in a convertible. I drive a convertible. Summer day, you want to put the top down, let the wind go through your hair, feels great. And you feel that you can't do that, Amy, because you're afraid they're going to be aggressive. I can tell you they're not, because they're too afraid of being arrested. But that person's being there has now affected your choice of how you live. And that's a problem for you. I guess I feel like it's a problem that is going to happen. And I've never been in favor of giving away the heroin because they ought to work for it like anybody else. But I'm not in favor of the law being so aggressive against heroin, because some point you got to say it's hopeless. I mean, we read about these. Oh, today the DEA arrested a guy and he had 5 million pounds of fentanyl. And that's worth $20 billion. And the next day, the same amount of fentanyl's on the street. So what are we doing this for? I mean, it's the biggest waste of time. When do you say, it's like Vietnam, when do you say, okay, this just didn't work out?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just think, yes, you have to have sympathy, balance that, responsibility, as well as the nuisance factor, because I have had a panhandler pull on my car door, right? So I would not drive a convertible if I were downtown, because that's a scary place to be, where you're at a stoplight, someone pulls on your car door.
Yeah, so you're carrying a weapon so you can point it at him.
So, oh my gosh, this conversation has so many different directions to take. But yeah, I agree. I don't have the answer. All I know is that I don't want to be heartless to those who are asking for money, but I also want to support the safety of the community.
Well, I can tell you one thing. If every single person in St. Louis stopped giving them money, they wouldn't be there, because the only reason they're there is because they get it.
That's a great one. That's what we call a walk-off, Nevis. Well done. That's a great way to finish it off. It's great to see you. We have to do this again sometime. It's been fun having you in. It's a really interesting story that we could continue on all day, but we'll have to do it another time. But thank you for doing this. We appreciate it.
Thanks to you, Kevin, Chris, and Amy. Goodbye.
Nevis Schock in studio with us. He's a civil rights attorney at Schock Law. We're actually going to try to follow up on a couple of those things. And a reminder, we got Matt Pauley coming up in about an hour here on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomes.louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. That's chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com or call 314-328-8000.
Hey guys, Glover here, and I see clearly thanks to Doctors Bertie and Malhotra, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If your home's important to you, check out my friends at Banner Construction. If you're looking for windows, you should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner is also a Platinum Certified Pella Window Contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful, and they come with a 30-year warranty. One of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner Homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. My friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. Call 314-569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com.
Get ready for a one-of-a-kind audio-visual experience. Timeless and everlasting. KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more, live in concert, 3 p.m. Saturday, December 10th at Enterprise Center. Don't miss this holiday tradition. $1 of each ticket sold to the 3 p.m. show will go to SSM Health Cardinal Glennon. Get full ticket and show details on the events page at KMOX.com.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the downside? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show, heard here every Saturday at 3 p.m. on KMOX Radio. You can also call me now for your complimentary retirement and income book at 844-513-SAFE. That's 844-513-7233.
Are you the type of person who loves their community and wants it to be the best it can be? Now it's easier than ever to do your part. Go to recyclemo.com to see just how easy it is to recycle the right way. Or if you already recycle and want to be as efficient as possible, recyclemo.com can tell you what should and should not be recycled in your area. Become part of the clean recycling movement today. It's the right thing to do. Sponsored by the Missouri Department of Natural Resources.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together millions of things for our planet. Thinking of having turkey for the holidays? Make sure to buy one that was humanely and ethically raised. One of the best options is to buy a turkey direct from a local farm. If that's not an option, look for turkeys that are labeled either USDA organic or certified humane. Be wary of terms like natural, cage-free, and no hormones, as these terms aren't regulated. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Serving St. Louis for over 96 years. KMOX.
This is a fascinating conversation because I think all of us, and Amy, you described it well, and it probably may be more true for women than men in that that extra stress level of having people kind of lingering around your car door.
Yes.
You said you had somebody try to open your door, so I mean that's a disturbing thing.
That's weird.
Yeah,
I think Rachel had that too.
Downtown,
it might be the same guy.
Right? Yeah, it was downtown.
He waits until you're at a stoplight and there's a car in front of you and a car behind you, and he goes to the car that doesn't have an out and then pulls on those.
Oh,
it's creepy.
Where's it at?
Mine happened on Tucker.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess the interesting thing to me on the bigger picture here is we're only disturbed. We're only calling the police. We're only calling City Hall to complain when it's very clearly somebody that's either an addict or a homeless person or whatever. But I see this all the time. I see youth football programs are out there and you've got a bunch of parents with little containers and they're saying, hey, our team we need uniforms, or, we're doing a fundraiser for this. And they're running in and out of traffic the same way. You're going to see this at various points. I mean, we had some jokes about this, about Old Newsboys Day, which we participate in. I think that there's an interesting question to ask about what exactly it is that we're worried about, because it's clearly not safety. Because if somebody does it for another reason, we don't protest about it. But when a certain group of people do it, it makes us uncomfortable.
Well, and it can be safety, because what they were saying is people like the Old Newsboys or firefighters or whoever, they get a license. And so there is some sort of vetting process. Okay, this group is going to be out here, because while some panhandlers are not aggressive and are totally safe, if it's just a free for all, it could be a drug addict. It could be someone who's unstable. So that, to me, safety still falls under that umbrella. They're
still in traffic though, and weaving in and out of cars.
Traffic safety, yes, but personal safety.
Right.
Maybe it's because I'm a dude, but I've never had a panhandler approach me aggressively like that. Whether it's here, Chicago. No. I mean,
really?
never.
They'll
most
knock on the
no,
window.
I never had that. Never.
I've had it
maybe.
once when I was a freshman in college at the University of Miami, a guy did that to me. He came up, wiped the window, and he was knocking on the thing. And that was one time, and it was 30 years ago.
Yeah, I've never had that.
Where they walk up and they wave, they try to get your attention. They'll knock lightly on your window, and then I just,
Yeah, I don't. I
can't
do
it.
That.
I'm not going to open my window.
I do
for
wonder
someone.
if they do that because they think that they can kind of guilt you into it.
Right. Because I'm a lady.
You're welcome to give us a voicemail, 944-1120.
We got Beavis on there talking about these panhandlers and stuff. It was especially bad this morning over at Gravois and Lindbergh, a whole bunch of them out there. One of them actually looked like Trish.
What? Wait. What?
Guys, it was Trish.
It was old Newsboys Day, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Trish Gazal was out there. She posted a video from
Was that Glover that left that
Gravois and
voicemail?
Lindbergh.
I don't think so.
I have to listen to that. Is that Glover?
Son, they're talking about these
No,
panhandlers.
it's not.
No,
Glover.
come on.
That's our boss.
Steve.
No, it's fascinating. We'll definitely come back to this at some point down the road here on the show.
I only know what life looks like and feels like through my eyeballs.
It's my
I wonder if anyone is where they thought they would be. I'm not where I thought I would be even 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Life changes so much. Yeah, hey, make your plans, do what you want to do, whether it's marriage or kids or your job or your health.
Discover the life of Dave Glover.
I'm surprised at how surprising life is.
Weekday afternoons beginning at 2, only on KMOX.
KMOX News Time is 11:28. Donate a car, get a tax receipt, and tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium at mersgoodwill.org.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
All right. Funny story today. What happened at the office? I was trying to shred. It didn't do it. There was no noise. It wasn't doing anything. And Michelle, who is works in the office, she is truly a great employee. She goes, oh yeah, but sometimes if you shake it, she got up, she walked over and she shook it. She goes, now try it. And I put the document in, and it worked. And she goes, see, there, fixed. That's the reason she's in the office and she's not one of my techs. that is true. So today, Wednesday, I'm gonna make this month every Wednesday. It's gonna be Michelle Day. Keep up the good work. Now, if you do need something fixed, it will not be Michelle that will be coming out. It'll be me and one of my great techs. So call me, Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. Just this one number and one name. 314-293-2600 or bartinman.com.
At 11:30, we've got some sun and 37 degrees downtown at the Arch. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is addressing her plans with colleagues in the wake of Democrats narrowly losing control of the House to Republicans. Here's what she just had to say.
There is no greater official honor for me than to stand on this floor and to speak for the people of San Francisco. This I will continue to do as a member of the House, speaking for the people of San Francisco, serving the great state of California, and defending our Constitution. And with great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress. For me, the hours come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus that I so deeply respect.
Fewer Americans applied for unemployment benefits last week, despite the Federal Reserve's latest interest rate hike intended to tamp down inflation. Bankrate.com's Mark Hamrick says there is a footnote to go with those numbers. They don't factor in the stream of pink slips running through Silicon Valley.
New claims for unemployment benefits declined by 4,000 in the latest week to a seasonally adjusted 222,000. This proxy for layoffs is not yet reflecting the steady flow of job cut announcements coming from technology firms.
Right now, we've got a crash on 6440 West before McKnight. The left lane is closed. Also, a crash on 270 East at New Florissant. That's got the left lane closed. And a stall 70 East at 141 on the right shoulder. This afternoon's forecast sponsored by Reinhold Flooring. Not as cold as yesterday. Early sun gives way to more clouds. High today, 44 degrees. Some flurries, maybe even a snow shower around later this afternoon into tonight. And it turns frigid with a low 22. Real field temperatures drop into the single digits overnight. Tomorrow, quite cold with a high of 33. Real fields stay in the 20s. Want beautiful first-class flooring at a competitive price? Call Reinhold Flooring with professional craftsmen and a knowledgeable, caring sales staff that helped earn them St. Louis Magazine's best flooring store 2 years in a row. Schedule a free in-home measure and consultation at reinholdflooring.com. It's 37 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Treat yourself to Old Town Donuts, a family-owned bakery making award-winning donuts since 1968. Pick up a dozen today for less than $10. Old Town Donuts, open today and 7 days a week in Florissant and Cottleville.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It's here this weekend. Diamonds Direct's biggest and final store-wide sale of the year. 3 days of extra savings, Friday through Sunday. Your final chance before the holidays to save an extra 20% on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones, and the selection is double with entire designer lines flown in only for this event. This is the best pre-holiday shopping opportunity. The biggest sale all year. Special financing too. Details at diamondsdirect.com. It's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with Truehold. Truehold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want, and Truehold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since Truehold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Friday night, it's women's Billikens basketball action as they take on Green Bay, Wisconsin. Pre-game 6:47, tip at 7. Hear the game here on your home for Billikens basketball, KMOX.
10:35 in the show. Chris Ranji, A.B. Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Do we have any Elon Musk news in the last 24 hours?
Oh, God, no.
No, he's not. You know what he's done? He has settled down.
He has?
And he bought a cabin.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, and he logged
that's
off.
great.
Did he move to the woods?
Yep, and he logged off. And I think he's done with Twitter.
I sure wish.
Wouldn't it be great? I mean,
well,
What is the news?
guys,
what's
I hate to inform you.
Oh,
Well,
no.
no, maybe this is good news. Yes.
And by good, I just mean something that makes some kind of sense.
Yes. So on Wednesday, Elon said, well, he's in court, by the way.
Wait, right now?
Yeah, for a compensation package for executives at Tesla who got a bunch of money and shareholders are mad about it, whatever. So he was in court and said, quote, I expect to reduce my time at Twitter and find somebody else to run Twitter over time. So looks like he's going to find a different CEO. He also said in court that he doesn't really need to be the CEO of any company, meaning Tesla and or SpaceX. Yet he is.
Yeah.
So I guess he's going to move on then.
I would hope. I mean, we had Ian Scher from CNET on Tuesday. On Tuesday talking about this. And I asked Ian, like, is the solution to this at some point bringing an adult in, like having an adult in the room running this so that Elon is just the guy in charge on the bigger scale, but not day to day?
You know, one of the jokes that they had at Google when they brought on CEO Eric Schmidt, who was, you know, a longtime tech industry executive. He was not known as this kind of forward-thinking person, but, you know, the two founders said, look, we realize we need an adult in charge, even though, you know, we're 20-something years old. We need someone who has experience. Same thing at Facebook. When they hired the COO, who came in after Mark Zuckerberg, they were hiring an adult for the room. And so that is something that is often said. The difference, of course, is that Elon Musk is 51, I think, years old. So it kind of, it strains credulity to think that he could need an adult. But Roger is absolutely right about it.
Yeah, I'm saying adult in the room as a smart ass way of saying he needs someone who knows more about this particular business, right? So you can't be an expert in everything. You can't be, he's clearly done great things. We've said this a million times. It's part of the thing that's so frustrating about Elon is that you can see where he's had success and you can see that he's had ideas and executed those ideas and grown a couple of really significant companies. This is not his area of expertise. And he's taking a business that could be better than it is. In fact, by the way, all along was better than it is right now. And he's kind of screwed it up a little bit. And so when I'm saying adult in the room, I don't mean because Elon is a child and can't handle things. I simply mean somebody that knows this business better than he does. Because he wouldn't be, like, if you're talking to me about SpaceX, for example, I wouldn't say he needs someone else to go in there and do that. He's shown that he can get it done there. He knows what he's doing.
He very clearly has people who are good at all of his companies, SpaceX, Tesla. Tesla's got some issues. They have some, structural issues as far as the cars go, exploding and taking off down
upon.
Taking off on their own.
It's the
and
automation.
killing people.
Right,
it's the automation. Yeah. So, those are pretty massive bugs, but I would imagine they'll fix those things. Elon is very clearly, to me, and you might disagree, I think he's just more ambitious than he is brilliant. And everybody likes to assign the word brilliant to him, that he's a genius and he's smarter than the rest of us at a lot of different things, which is fine. And I believe that to be true. He does not know what he's doing with this company. And for all of Twitter's flaws, and it has had flaws, it has had things that have needed to be fixed over the last several years. It has contributed to some kind of bad stuff in the last few years, but it also is extremely useful. And it's useful to a lot of people here. It's useful for people who like to aggregate breaking news, who get their news from Twitter when you follow reputable sources. Us doing a show, that's how we find out a lot of things are happening in real time. Somebody breaks it on Twitter. It is a very useful platform with some problems that can be fixed. He's not the guy to fix them.
When it comes to these leaders of industry or these, gurus, whatever you want to call them, here's the thing. Whenever you have a genius or someone who is a barrier breaker, it's because of that very definition that to do something great or extraordinary, something that stands out from everything else, you have to color outside the lines. You have to break barriers. A lot of these people are necessarily kind of gutsy in the actions that they take. They'll take big risks because with great risk can come great reward. It can also be massive failure. My goodness, think of Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook's slogan, which was move fast and break things, right? But the key is that often the definition of whether or not something is brilliant or foolish is completely contingent on the success of that action. If someone takes an action and it works, like, wow, that guy had the guts to do it. What a genius. If he takes an action that doesn't work, that just absolutely blows up, you think, what an idiot.
That's why
it's
why I think it's ambition more than anything else. It's just he really wants to be this. He wants to be this thing that everybody idolizes, and he wants to be liked by everybody, which is why when he said weeks ago that Twitter should be a space where all criticism is open and you should be able to criticize it, including me. He doesn't like being criticized because when you criticize him, he gets salty about it and he goes back at you, or he'll delete your tweets, or he'll block you, or whatever. He does not like fair criticism.
Because he has an ego. It's,
Yeah.
it's the same thing
So
with
then
running
let's-
for
but then don't
this
say-
is also a red herring, because this was never about like fair criticism or anything. The problems that we were talking about back in that time that we were talking about quote unquote censorship were people intentionally sending out misleading information.
Yeah.
That is not just sharing an opinion. That is not just having a take. When people are intentionally deceiving people, it's called lying. And it's okay to point that out and say, if you're going to continue to lie, you can't be on this business's platform.
Right.
That's okay. That's not
Yeah.
censorship.
No, and that's what he thought it was. Like, I think his idea is that it should just be, I know he says it shouldn't be a free-for-all, but I think he thinks it really should be a free-for-all.
He
People
could
can say
make
whatever
it
they
that-
want to.
He could make it that way, and the business will crash
That's
because
ex-
no advertisers will want to be
That's
a part of
exactly it. So we have a texter to 314-436-7900. Why are you all so bothered by Elon? I think it's comical as we are all just watching from the sidelines. Even funnier that it ruffles people's feathers. Haters gonna hate. Why so judgy? We just explained why. Because it isn't hating. It's valid criticism of somebody that doesn't know what he's doing, and it ends up affecting a lot of other things. Well, least of which are the people who don't work there anymore
That's
because he
the bigger
fired
point here.
them.
That's the bigger point.
He doesn't
here,
know
right?
what
Like,
he's doing.
This isn't going to damage my life. This is not about
No.
Twitter hurting me. Yeah, I like Twitter for what you said. I like it as a news aggregator.
It's
I like
very
it to be able
useful.
to find information and occasionally have back and forth with people. But if it were to stop being that, it's not the end of me. It's not going to hurt
No,
me.
of course not.
But it did cost thousands of people their jobs for no good reason.
And that's why I say that Twitter is a fake world with real world consequences. You could
Wait, you never said that.
I know. You could make a good argument that Donald Trump doesn't become president without Twitter, without the ruckus that he caused on Twitter, the way he was able to communicate directly with his most loyal followers and then make headlines on Twitter. But to your point about people losing jobs, I too, my initial reaction was to kind of mock it or to be cavalier. Oh my gosh, Elon and Twitter, because you know what? I don't have a lot of sympathy for anyone in Silicon Valley. It's not, I don't know. There's something about the whole tech world that I find off-putting. But here's the thing. I have a good friend and his friends have worked at Twitter. And so he told me, I was literally in the room when he got 2 texts from 2 different friends who just said, oh my gosh, I don't have a job anymore.
Yeah, they
Those are
learn
real
over Twitter
people.
they've been fired.
Yes.
Yep.
Those are real people. And so that's why I totally get the kind of funny cavalier attitude, because it's the tech world, which doesn't engender much empathy, but it is real people. And it does have real world consequences that politics and the corporate world and the world of entertainment respond to what happens on the
Just
platform.
about any important decision maker in the country and around the world is on Twitter.
Yes.
They're on Twitter and they use it. I mean, there are some people that don't, but there are a lot who do.
Yeah. And it's, again, you want to do things that are going to help you monetize the business. Go ahead. But don't undermine the credibility of what makes it good, because what makes it strong, what makes a lot of people come back is that you can, on the old verification system, understand who is saying that thing. And therefore you have the context to judge whether or not it's a good thing, it's a smart thing, it's an entertaining thing, or it's an accurate thing. And the way that they're going is changing that and undermining really what made the business strong to begin with. All right, we're going to get more into the kind of the post-mortem, if you will, of the midterms. We know the results now, at least in D.C. I know there's still some outstanding races, but we know what the results are in the House of Representatives, in the Senate, and now everybody in the political game is doing the post-game analysis. And there's one key part that keeps coming up. We'll talk a bit about that key part next up on the show.
Well, it's been a tough couple of years for business owners if you've had to deal with COVID shutdowns, restrictions, inflation, supply chain issues, all of that. I could go on and on. Well, here's something that could help you out. If your business has 5 or more employees and you managed to survive the past couple of years, you'll want to go to getrefunds.com. getrefunds.com. Now, this is not a payback. It's not a loan. It's a refund of your taxes. And like I said, if you're a business with 5 or more employees and you managed to survive the COVID years, you could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. But you don't want to wait because this is available only for a limited amount of time. The team of tax attorneys that they have put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program, and they've already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. Even if your business took PPP, even if you are a nonprofit, or you saw an increase in sales, you still could be eligible. To find out if your business qualifies for this refund, just go to getrefunds.com.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-5555. I can pay cash and close in as houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, behind on taxes houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-5555. That's 314-782-5555.
Get ready for a one-of-a-kind audio-visual experience. Timeless and everlasting. KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more, live in concert, 3 p.m. Saturday, December 10th at Enterprise Center. Don't miss this holiday tradition. $1 of each ticket sold to the 3 p.m. show will go to SSM Health Cardinal Glennon. Get full ticket and show details on the events page at KMOX.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
AMCO presents Bet You Didn't Know.
Bet you didn't know that your car's transmission is made up of 800 pieces. Also, bet you didn't know that AMCO's fixed over 40 million transmissions, and that AMCO offers a nationwide warranty.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
That's AMCO, AA-MCO.
Get 4 tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium when you donate your car to Goodwill. It's easy, towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt too. Dive in and check it out at mersgoodwill.org.
Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
Furnish hope right here in St. Louis. Donate your unneeded furniture and household goods to Home Sweet Home. Visit www.homesweethomestl.org to learn more.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Are you concerned about higher taxes, soaring inflation, and what's next for the stock market? Don't miss Your Retirement Professors this Saturday afternoon at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Amy, Chris, and Kevin.
The greatest radio talk show host ever.
Now, more of the show.
Now put your hands up in the club, just go up. I'm doing my own little thing.
Well, if you're watching on Facebook.com/KMOX1120, Amy is...
She's having a convulsion.
I was going to say dancing, but it's more like
that's
just
a convulsion.
Moving.
So I do have videos from that awesome Halloween party a couple of weeks ago, and I do dance exactly like Elaine from Seinfeld.
There you go.
Yep.
No shock. No shock. Well, we played that song. That's why Amy was dancing, because you like, I assume you like the song, or at least it's catchy.
Beyonce is just, Beyonce song comes on, you have to dance.
I didn't.
No, you shouldn't.
Raji didn't.
You
Dave didn't.
Amy, you
Tyler
don't.
didn't.
You don't have
You're
to.
not a fan of
Well,
the
Tyler
Queen.
did
No,
a little
no.
bit.
I'm saying you don't
I saw
have
the
to.
chair shake back and forth a little bit.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Because this is America.
But
you never have to dance.
right. But
I just wish you wouldn't.
we obviously played that for a reason.
Did
right?
we?
We did.
I thought it was random. Anyway.
That was just me trying to get you back on task, is all. That's all that was.
All right.
All right.
All right.
So what now?
The GOP and political pundits are blaming the single ladies, guys. That's why there was no red wave. And
Okay,
you may
so
think,
in what way was it like just quote unquote single ladies?
well, when you look at the quote spinster bash fest is what they're calling it.
Wow.
So you're looking at the demographics of voters
Uh-huh.
and, married men and married women and unmarried men and unmarried women to look how they voted. And the more overwhelming statistic is that 68% of unmarried women voted Democrat and 31% of unmarried women voted Republican. You can compare that to 42% of married women voted Democrat and 56% of married women voted Republican. So the unmarried ladies out there are voting Democrat, and the GOP is not thrilled about it.
Let's as they say in the political world, let's reframe that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Aren't they just talking about young people? Because when we look at the way the young vote went, it's almost exactly what you just described. It is almost exactly that. In fact, when the Harvard Public Opinion Project student chair Alan Zhang spoke about this, he said young voters canceled out every single vote of those over 65. And it's the same percentages, basically just a little bit more than 2/3 of the voters between 18 and 29. So if you're going to focus on, and I know that for them, it sounds better to say, well, single people. The truth is that it's young people.
Well, I think that's a big part, but I honest to goodness, I think we would still be surprised, even single women who are in their 30s and 40s, as like I am, some of my friends, that they would also vote Democrat. Like when you look at married women, they broke Republican by 14 points. Unmarried women broke Democrat by 37 points. Like it's not even close. Like just that huge gap that, yes, if you look at the Venn diagram of young women, sure. But I would argue even 30s, 40s, 50s, if there are single women out there, they would vote overwhelmingly Democrat.
What I found interesting in all of this too is a comment. This is from Jesse Waters. He said this on Fox News. He said that this is about the young vote, but I think it applies if we want to substitute single women or even single men, whatever, but single ladies, as the song said. You could substitute that group in here, and I think it's the same. My same takeaway. He said the fact that these youth voters are coming in so strong in an off year is very concerning.
Well, it should be concerning for a party that doesn't seem to be interested in appealing to them.
This would be my point, right? Is wouldn't you want to have policies that appeal to more people, like to the single women that are not going to vote for you because you were all for getting rid of Roe v. Wade? I mean, if you're talking about things that matter to groups of people, you don't win by telling them they're wrong. You win by coming to them and doing things that they like.
So you're saying when J.D. Vance, the Ohio senator-elect, said in July of 2021, quote, "We are effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too," end quote. That maybe that wasn't good that he said that?
No, but he won.
He did win.
Yeah, he won. Look, not every state
did.
has it figured out. Let's just
but,
say that.
Kerry Lake told the McCain Republicans go jump in a lake, and they did. They're like, fine, see ya. And she lost.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a winning strategy to say, if you don't agree with everything that I'm about, bye, see
And
ya.
maybe-
You got to come to people, and you have to understand that the youth, and especially in this case, the young vote, is one of the largest voting blocks in the country. Now, typically, they don't come out in force, but they did this time. And if they do again, you need to appeal to them and not just complain about them.
Yes.
Right?
Well, I mean, speaking as a single woman without kids who's 39 years old and leans conservative and is pro-life, I would say that, yeah, attacking women incessantly, blaming them exclusively for the abortion issue, and even threatening to take punitive measures against them, if they consider an abortion, have an abortion. Meanwhile, the guys can go around sowing their wild oats because that's what men do. Maybe that's not the best approach to win over this demographic. And I'm saying that from a Republican standpoint, which everybody knows it can be very offensive at times, the way the GOP looks at women or talks about
my
women.
very idealistic way of looking at politics, or the way I think things should be, and that is each of these parties needs to do things that are good for people. It needs to do things that people like, because what other reason is there for us to have a government other than make people's lives easier?
Yeah.
And if you're not interested in making younger people's lives easier, then you're going to lose.
Yeah.
You're going to lose every time,
and
you should lose every time.
And you have to understand their priorities.
Yeah.
They don't care about their 401k. They care about what's going to impact them now.
Right.
And in the next few years, the foreseeable future, not what's going to impact them 30 years down the road. We'll recap some of the top stories of the day, including breaking news here in the last 15 or 20 minutes that we haven't hit yet, coming up after the news.
Buying a car is just a few clicks away at Bomarito.com. Choose new or pre-owned. See it today, drive it today. Shop thousands of vehicles and even buy 100% online with Bomarito Fast Pass. You can go a test drive, get financing. What's more for your trade at Bomarito, and we'll deliver your vehicle to you. A better experience, a better price, and real service after the sale. Go with the automotive leader, Bomarito, Missouri's #1 automotive group. Open 24/7 at Bomarito.com.
The holidays are here, but for some families, they'll spend that time at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. I'm Carol Daniel. KMOX, along with all of our sister stations at our company, Odyssey STL, are again proud to partner with you and other generous St. Louisans in our community to raise funds for the Tree of Hope campaign for Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. It's so easy to give. Just text the word HOPE to 20357 or KMOX.com/Cardinal Glennon.
Recent impacts with inflation, ongoing COVID concerns, and geopolitical conflict have us all and the markets on edge. Heisey Advisory Group understands the importance of having a customized strategy for retirement, especially during uncertain times, to help ensure these concerns don't have an impact on your retirement. Heisey Advisory Group is a St. Louis-based, family-owned and operated holistic retirement planning firm. Our team has defined a process that puts together all the pieces of the financial puzzle, working with all of your service providers to help develop an individualized plan that grows with you as your life changes and your needs evolve. If you're not confident that your retirement plan is on track to deliver the lifestyle you want amid historic levels of uncertainty, call us today at 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400.
Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through A Wealth Management, LLC.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Don't fall behind on your garage door maintenance. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis for our 26-point tune-up. It's only $89.95. That's one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Always look for the genuine, the original red ribbon of Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Trusted by St. Louis homeowners since 1926. Schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
Hello, this is Chad Clayman at ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy houses direct. If you're thinking about selling, but you're not sure where you're going to go after you sign a contract with a buyer, if you sell to us, we can provide a flexible closing date for you. And once we've written a contract, we can actually adjust the closing date if you need to move it up or you need to move it back at any time. Find us at ClaymanGroup.com. And simplify your sale by closing on your timeline. KLAMEN Group.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 noon, we've got some clouds and 38 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour.
CBS News special report. From the House floor, a big announcement.
With great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
For me, the hours come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus that I so deeply respect. And I'm grateful that so many are ready and willing to shoulder this awesome responsibility.
Pelosi's been the Democratic leader for 2 decades and was the first female speaker. CBS's Scott McFarland says replacing her will be hard.
There's never been anybody as good at counting votes and preparing for a floor vote as a leader of a party than Speaker Pelosi. That skill set is one you cannot replicate, at least not immediately.
Again, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi just announcing from the House floor she will not seek re-election to leadership. CBS News Special Report. I'm Stacey Lynn.
Officials say U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents have been wounded after exchanging gunfire with people on board a suspected smuggling vessel off the coast of Puerto Rico. A Dutch court has convicted 3 men in absentia of murder for their role in shooting down a Malaysia Airlines passenger jet with a Russian surface-to-air missile, killing all 298 people on board. The baseball company Rawlings has been based in the St. Louis area for 135 years. Now it wants to make sure everyone knows it.
Rawlings is moving its global headquarters from Town and Country to Westport Plaza in Maryland Heights, and it's going to put a big old gold glove on top of the gold building. CEO Mike Zlackett hopes it becomes a landmark.
Think of flights coming in and out of Lambert. Think of blimp shots during Cardinals games.
Rawlings will also create a visitor's experience where people can try on gloves of the stars and create their own. It's all part of a larger project at Westport that'll include new restaurants and a residential community. Scott Jagal, KMOX News.
Chesterfield Mayor Bob Nation says he doesn't blame the Parkway School District for not liking a TIF going to the new development at the old Chesterfield Mall, but says this TIF is different.
I would call it a hybrid because it allows a significant percentage of the additional revenues that are generated by virtue of the development to be passed through to the school district to the tune of over $200 million over the life of the TIF.
Patty Bedborough with Parkway says with all the new residential planned there, they expect a 25% increase in students.
Just to clarify, we won't see a reduction in our revenue. We just will not receive the increase in revenue in order to support our student population.
Nations disagrees they'll see that many new students, but Bedborough says even assuming the mayor's 10% increase, they'd be looking at a $44 million operating loss over the 23 years of the TIF. Workers at the Apple Store in the Galleria could become the third Apple Store to unionize. The International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers, or IAM, filed the petition yesterday with the National Labor Relations Board. The First Mid Bank and Trust Business Desk, Facebook employees could hack you.
It's one thing when someone hijacks a Facebook account. It's another when it turns out to have been an inside job, as in a Facebook employee. Dow Jones says over the past year, Facebook owner Meta Platforms has disciplined or fired more than 24 workers and contractors accused of taking over user accounts. In some cases, the workers had accepted thousands of dollars in bribes from outside hackers to access the accounts. I'm Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
Dow from Stifel's up 34 points to 33,588. And right now there's a crash on 6440 going west before McKnight. It's got the left lane closed. There's also a crash on 270 east at New Florissant. The left lane's closed to stall 270 west before Elizabeth on the right shoulder. Sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com.
Temperatures this afternoon won't be as cold as yesterday, with sun giving way to some clouds, high 44. And then another front comes through tonight with some flurries and a snow shower. It'll turn frigid down to 22. Real feels in the single digits. We'll only get back to 33 tomorrow with a gusty wind and some sun. And then we're in the low 40s, not as cold as we go into the weekend. I'm Accu with the meteorologist Dean DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Partly cloudy, 38 in Florissant, 39 St. Peter's, 38 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
$12:05, time to jump back into some of the top stories of the day here on the show. Chris Raji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. We didn't get to it yet. The news broke 15, 20 minutes ago. The announcement was made. Nancy Pelosi is stepping down as House Democratic leader, because it wouldn't have been majority leader, obviously, anymore. Right. So she is stepping down from that role. That was announced, again, about, 20 minutes ago, something along those lines. In all honesty, I think it's a good thing. And number one, you're already a target. Change the target, I guess, because no matter who is in a position of leadership in politics, they're going to be a target. Going to be that way. But I think both the Republican and Democratic Party need to have younger leadership at some point. You can't have the same people for 25, 30, 35 years in leadership positions. You do have to have some people that are more attuned to what's happening around in the real world, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, I disagree with Nancy Pelosi's policy. I respect her career and all that she's done, but she also is like 150 years old, is what it feels like. It wouldn't hurt for both sides to, I don't know, put some younger people up there. And I'm not even saying younger, like 40, even 60 would be young at this point.
Sure.
I mean, but honestly, part of my problem with all this, and I know that I'm a weirdo about it, but at some point within the last 10 or 15 years, you should have had to do your own grocery shopping. Yeah. You should have had to live your own life on your own without people helping you, without people doing things for you, to understand that your policy makes a day-to-day difference for people that are doing those things, that are raising kids, taking them to school, going shopping, trying to keep up with inflation and all of that. And if you're separate from that for too long, I do think you lose the perspective, even if you think you have the right intention.
No, that's a really great point, because there are two sides to this. Part of it is that you've just been a career politician, which experience and connections are really good. So it's not that you don't want anyone with experience. So there's that side of it. And then lest I come across ageist, which I'm not trying to do, what I do know is that there reaches a point where if your age and mental decline is compromising your ability to do your job, that should be acknowledged. I know, again, with Dianne Feinstein, she's getting older. She's been struggling. It's kind of been rumored. Some of her staff has come out to perhaps anonymously disclose just how much she's struggling. That's a big deal. Dianne Feinstein, if her age, her mental acuity is lapsing, which is totally fine. She earned it. She's getting old. Yeah. She shouldn't be in that position.
Chuck Grassley too. I mean, look, if we're gonna do this,
Joe Biden.
I think there is a fine line, and there needs to be a balance between having some people who have institutional knowledge. I use that term a lot because I think it's important. Just like we were talking about Twitter, it's good that people 6, 7, 8 years because they have institutional knowledge and they can fix things and they can get to solutions quickly. It's also good in government to have people like that, to have people who have been around for a while and kind of know how things work a little bit so that they can move some stuff along. You need to find a balance between that and people who are just, way too old.
Yeah, and it's not about age. It's about ability.
Yeah.
Or in the case that I'm talking about is connectivity to the people you represent.
Right.
And that's why you need personal responsibility, and you need your side, your own side, to hold itself accountable. Because what you don't want is, okay, because people are pushing the limits here, we're going to have to enact laws, which, more of these laws could be abused. And who's to say when someone's getting old enough, does that look like an age limit? But again, you could be very mentally sharp at an older age where someone who's younger than you may not have that capability. So it does matter to have a sense of personal awareness, responsibility, and then each party to hold itself accountable and say this person might not be the best person to nominate, elect, or to maintain.
Opening the show, we talked about the soccer match in St. Louis last night. It's good to say.
City 2.
It's not look, the friendlies are great. I know it was a friendly last night, but the friendlies at Busch Stadium were amazing. They were packed houses. People were fired up. You guys, this felt different because it's yours. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned it earlier, Ranj, the feeling of that stadium, like you're, I don't think totally kidding, but like you're proud that it's there.
Yeah.
Even though, you and I, we didn't do anything to do it. Yeah, Ranj did. I did.
Yep.
But like, it is a point of pride. It's a beautiful state-of-the-art stadium for a team that's going to start playing at the highest level in the United States, starting in the spring. And seeing it and what it is now and what it will be and what it will continue to grow into is very cool. That's what last night was about. It's the beginning.
It was just to have that international vibe, to have Bayer Leverkusen in St. Louis, right, of the historic Bundesliga, one of the most elite historic soccer leagues in the world. And again, walking up Market and seeing the Union Station on my left, the wheel all lit up, spinning, the colors, having the practice fields, an incredible facility. Then their offices, the St. Louis City offices that also have a standalone team store. And just the way City Park glows, it felt surreal. We talked to Mitch Maurice of the Luligans, and he said it felt surreal and it felt like he was a guest at this stadium. And he couldn't wrap his brain around, this is ours. This is St. Louis. You're having these European teams come in. I know that the crew with Bayer Leverkusen, they were blown away by the quality of this facility, state of the art and built with the fans in mind so that the fan experience would be fan facing, fan focused for the entire day of the game. You're going to have Blue Fuse Plaza, which is 100,000 square feet outside the stadium with entertainment and activities and food. You have the bars popping up all around City Park, and including Maggie O'Brien's, which has just been redone and looks incredible. And you know how we talked to Gerard Kraft yesterday about the food vendors being 100% local inside City Park. I felt like every few feet I was passing a food vendor that just smelled so good.
What did you eat?
Oh my gosh. I didn't eat anything. I was working.
You're always hungry and you're like,
I know.
I need to eat. And then you never have food.
And it was torture because there was St. Louis Cantina, Nudo House, all of these different places that are there.
Ron, we got to coach her up.
There
man.
was the creamery, the Spoonery. It was a boutique ice cream store.
Yeah.
And it was funny because everyone's in line for
Is it
barbecue.
Bold Spoon or something?
Yes.
That's what it is.
Something like that. And everyone's in line and we're just amazed by the facility. And I was walking with our boss, Steve Moore, down the concourse. And the place is electric and he's quiet. We just walk through and he looks over and he goes, tough night for ice cream. Like that was
Well, Steve.
I mean, you ain't wrong.
They were making ice cream, but if you are anywhere, have the ability to get to City Park for a game, bring the family, have a blast. It's really extraordinary.
And do what Amy didn't.
Eat.
Find time to eat.
Download the St. Louis City app, though. You really do have to get the app. That's how you'll have your tickets. It's also how you can order ahead. Again, with soccer, a lot of time there is that halftime crush for food. People stay in their seats during the game. It's not like baseball or football where you're milling about.
Yeah.
You stay in your seats during the game, and then during halftime, you want that food. So a lot of the vendors have the opportunity for you to order ahead through the St. Louis City app. And then it just takes seconds during halftime to walk up and get your food. We also talked about markets to go, the market to go. There's 3 of them throughout City Park. And with that, you walk into this little area and swipe your credit card, or I should say you swipe your credit card when you have access to this little area. You pick out drinks and different types of food and you walk out. There's no checkout process. They're able to track what food items you're picking up, and then it just automatically charges your card. So that also cuts back on the line. It really is efficient and technologically state of the art.
What else do we have in this first hour? What do we?
We
Mike
talked.
Pence.
Mike Pence.
About that.
Yeah, we talked about Mike Pence. We talked about. We talked to Beavis Shock.
Yep, that was
the
fascinating.
attorney. Yeah,
it's such an interesting conversation about because like none of us are comfortable with or happy about people panhandling,
No.
right? Nobody is like, oh, good, glad they're doing that today. But it is interesting how it's less annoying when it's a firefighter or somebody representing a youth football league or something else. I mean, reality is the same concerns, I think, exist, not the safety concerns, because some safety concerns, Amy, right? Less about your own safety in that regard, more about their safety in moving in and out of traffic. The worry that people have, and you express this because you've had people come up and try to open your door.
Yeah.
So I think there's an understanding that it's not always great. But it is an interesting thing how it's one thing when it's downtown and it's another thing when it's near where I live.
Yeah.
I think
whole
dynamic does kind of bug me. I mean, we have people that are in
Right.
those intersections not too far from where I live. Doesn't bother me. I just keep on moving.
Yeah, I think people just don't like to look at it.
Well, it's just, and it's
That's
a
what it
balance
is.
too. Panhandling has been on the rise, and again, it's balancing. How do you balance empathy, sympathy? Try to help them if they need money for that next meal. As Beavis Shock pointed out, a lot of the panhandlers are also trying to get enough money for drugs because they're dealing with addictions, and that's something that you can't just get out of on your own. And you do have a constitutional right, like Robert Fernandez, to panhandle and ask for money. And how do you balance that right with keeping communities safe? Because it could be a nuisance. There could be a time where it's a nuisance. Now, we did say their constitutional right ends when they become aggressive or start pulling on the doors, but they don't want to be arrested.
Speaking of pulling on the doors, that's what we're getting into next. If you're not in your car and someone is going to say, walk through a parking lot to see if your car door is unlocked, did you know that some places that's okay to do? That's illegal. Did you know that, Runch?
I just found out.
Wait, where did you find out?
From Kevin just now.
Just
okay,
now?
gotcha.
Oh, I thought we figured that earlier. We'll be talking about that next up on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to KMOX for all the news, sports, talk, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at ThrottleNet. These are the genius IT guys that I've been representing for years and years now. We are number one all the time. Best in customer service from Small Business Monthly. Best in cybersecurity, again, Small Business Monthly. We have an average response time. I love this statistic. The average response time in St. Louis in 2020 by IT companies. You have a problem, you reach out to them, hey, I'm all shut down, help me, was 3 hours. If you got back within 3 hours, you were cool. Ours was 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the guys were very unhappy with that. It takes less than 2 minutes for us to address your problems. Here's a huge thing. We are now offering $500,000 in ransom protection to everyone who uses us. This is part of the deal. You don't pay extra for it. So if you happen to be hit and you have to pay, we're going to pay it up to $500,000. Now, this shows you how confident we are because no one under our protection has ever had to pay. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS.
Tom Ackerman sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to yourEyeDoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Let's talk real estate for a minute. The St. Louis market is kind of tricky for home sellers right now, with home values going down and not selling as quickly. Now is not the time to risk losing precious equity on your home. This is Debbie Monterey, and I always recommend calling Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's the best. She's experienced every type of market, both good, great, and the not so good. So before you list your home for sale, call Gloria, and here's why. Gloria Liu will guarantee to sell your home at your agreed to price and time frame, or she'll buy it herself, guaranteed in writing. Gloria already has the buyers, thousands of buyers in her database. In fact, your home may already be sold. Gary and Angela called Gloria and sold their home even before it listed because Gloria had several buyers looking for a home in that area. Call Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or find her online at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
Julia owed the IRS thousands.
I was paralyzed with fear.
Then
I heard a commercial for Optima Tax Relief.
Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and experts in the Fresh Start Initiative.
Optima Tax Relief settled my IRS tax bill.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
It was amazing.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief. It's here. Diamonds Direct's amazing pre-holiday store-wide sale. This weekend, 3 days of extra savings store-wide. That's an extra 20% off all earrings, all bracelets, all bands, all pendants, all fashion jewelry. Virtually everything in every case is on sale. The lowest prices of the year. And your last chance for store-wide savings before Christmas. You can't miss this. Engagement rings on sale. Eternity bands on sale. Exclusive designer jewelry on sale. Details at DiamondsDirect.com. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only. And only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
At Neovitin, our goal is to create safe, dependable multivitamins to support your everyday nutrition when you need it most. That's why we've formulated Neovitin 50+ multivitamins with 20 daily ingredients, including B vitamins for energy support, vitamin C for immune support, and Dr. Abicki's 4-ingredient proprietary blend that you won't find in any other multivitamins. NeoVitin 50 Plus multivitamins come in 2 specifically designed formulas to help support your nutritional needs. NeoVitin Men's 50 Plus multivitamin for men 50 and older, and NeoVitin Women's 50 Plus multivitamin for women 50 and older. With a 4.8 out of 5-star rating on Trustpilot, you can be sure you are getting quality nutritional support with NeoVitin. Support your best life today with NeoVitin 50 Plus multivitamins. Available at your local Dierbergs, Schnucks, and online with our easy-to-use monthly subscriptions at neovitin.com. That's NeoVitin.com. neovitin.com.
Connect with KMOX on air, online, 11:20 a.m., 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
Right back into the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. I saw this story. We were kicking it around before the show today. And I know this is about Shrewsbury. They're looking towards putting together a vehicle prowling bill. It was formally introduced on Tuesday. They're looking at passing this bill that would make it illegal in Shrewsbury to go through parking lots and checking door handles of cars to see if the doors are locked.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing to me that that is a legal thing anywhere. And I know that only became illegal in St. Louis a year ago in the city.
In the city. Yes.
I maybe it's just an oversight because it wasn't specifically outlined in previous laws.
Right.
But this would seem like an easy no-brainer, right? You can't just walk around checking.
To successive vehicles. I mean, you're obviously not doing that for any good reason. There's nothing legal that comes from going to successive cars, pulling on the door handles to see if those doors will open. You're obviously doing it with thievery or other such nuisance in mind. I'm trying to remember. Charlie Brennan sent James O'Sullivan outside the streets of downtown St. Louis. I think it was before they passed the law that made it illegal for you to pull on door handles. And he said, James, see if anyone tries to stop you.
Yes.
And he sent one of our board operators outside to pull on door handles. So James is outside pulling on door handles, and our boss calls Charlie and is like, Charlie, you got to tell James not to do that. He's going to get killed.
I love it.
Did nobody in here go, hey, James, don't do that?
No, on my first day with Charlie, he was talking about how nobody stops at crosswalks. So, and I'm not kidding, he had me call in and stand in the middle of the road to see if anyone would stop.
You could have said no to that.
Well, I was nervous.
I am not standing in traffic for radio.
I was working with the great Charlie Brennan, and he sent me to stand in the middle of traffic to see what they would stop. Note, they didn't. So I had to run back onto the sidewalk.
You sure this wasn't a common sense test for you?
I don't know. It might have been. But at any rate, you can't pull on the door handles in the city of St. Louis, and now in Shrewsbury, they're trying to pass that as well.
All I'm thinking right now is, what could we send Tyler to do?
I know.
What kind of dangerous thing could we send Tyler, like a mission?
Yeah.
Let's send, what could we have him do? Should we have him, yes, we should have him try to get into houses. Let's see if we can send Tyler to houses and turn the knob and see if they open, you know? Is that a bad idea or a good idea? I don't know.
I don't know. I
We
mean,
should probably
I
look.
think so.
Is it
Was
illegal?
it an attempt to, enter?
Is it B and
enter
E?
illegally?
I don't know if that's B and E.
Have you guys ever seen
I don't think it's B, but it's definitely E.
The guy that goes viral with videos.
Who are you?
What do you mean?
Like some type of crime show?
Yeah.
Oh, we got some B&E there, chub.
We could have Tyler do with this guy that's gone viral with videos where he just walks down the street and then he like gets in people's faces, doesn't say anything, he just stares at guys. He just mugs them real close.
I think this is a great way to no longer have a board operator. If you were to send Tyler outside to just
Tyler's
stare
not
at
running
people,
the board.
No,
or
he's
a
producing over in the
Hey,
other
we
studio.
still have producer Dave.
He can do
So
it.
yeah, he could do it.
Tyler,
Hey, Dave,
you can say no.
Dave, go to a random house and see if you can just walk in.
So in case you're
Good
wondering
luck
what
with that.
happens if you get caught pulling on the door
Oh.
handles of different cars, in Shrewsbury, they're proposing that doing so could cost you up to $1,000 fine and up to 90 days in
Maybe
jail.
maybe I just don't understand something. I'm stupid. I admit it.
Mhm.
Why is this not just a state law? Why is this just not something in the state where you're like, hey, guys, you can't walk around checking people's car door handles. There's no legitimate reason for it. There cannot be an explanation for it.
Yeah.
So it's not okay. It's against the law. And we're going to assume that you're doing something bad. If you're, why is this up to each municipality to make this? This seems like an easy solution. Hey, guys, all across the state of Missouri, don't be checking door handles.
Maybe the legislature hasn't thought of it.
Could be.
Well, I think
Could
it
be.
is. I mean, it's certainly illegal to do that to a home. You can't really just walk into somebody's house if you're not invited to be in it.
Could you check the door?
So it's the same thing. I mean, I think as soon as you turn the handle.
What if you don't go in the car?
You can't go. It's not about one house. It's about successive houses.
Right.
Then yes, that's illegal. You can't do it to successive cars or successive houses.
I would hope it's illegal.
Have you ever accidentally gotten into the wrong car or hotel room?
I've never gotten into the wrong car.
I've gone up to the wrong car.
Oh, I did that yesterday.
I've tried. I tried to get into a
one that
hotel.
was exactly the same as mine. And
I think I told you guys this story. I was going into a hotel in Chicago, and they gave me the key. It was late, like midnight or something, and I take the elevator up, and it was the door right off the elevator.
Yep.
So I stuck the card in, and I opened it, and there's a lady in the bed.
No.
And she looks at me, and she was like, "Oh," and I went, "Oh God, sorry." So then
wait, your key opened the door.
It opened the door
What happened?
For a different room.
it was supposed to be my room. So I went down and he's like, "Oh, I don't know what happened there, but okay, well, let me give you a different room." I'm like, "Yes, please."
Oh my
So then I go
gosh.
to the next room and I open the door and there's like dirty towels on the floor. And I went, "Okay, this is going great." And it was like 12:30 at night, so I wasn't going to leave. And then
could you imagine
If
being that
you
lady?
came into like, oh my gosh, I would have screamed bloody murder.
Yeah, it was so bad. I went, "Oh, sorry."
I'd be like,
and then I'm standing at the elevator. I'm like, please, door, open up. I gotta
she
go.
comes running out with like a broomstick.
I could have gotten shot.
That's not even to the level of an oh no. It's an oh.
I did the old Midwest open.
Weeknights at 6. It's Sports Open Line.
Welcome into the program. My name is Matt Pauley.
Matt gets you inside the world of sports. Cardinals, Chiefs, Pelicans. You'll get it all and much more.
We have an exclusive podcast that's Cardinals related.
Plus great guests, insight, and conversations with you.
If you want to join us, you can do so by calling or texting.
Sports Open Line. You don't want to miss it. Weeknights at 6 on America's Sports Voice. KMOX.
KMOX News Time is 12:28. Donate a car, get a tax receipt, and tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium at mersgoodwill.org.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things, for our planet. Planning a road trip to visit family and friends this holiday season? Now is the perfect time to make sure your car is getting optimal gas mileage. First, check your tires and make sure they are inflated to proper pressure. Remove heavy items like golf clubs from your car and plan on packing light. And minimize stops on longer trips to help maximize your fuel economy. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
There are better ways to spend your time than shopping for Medicare. With enrollment ending December 7th, let Health Markets find your plan. Visit shop.healthmarkets.com. Health Markets Insurance Agency, Inc. is licensed as an insurance agency in all 50 states and D.C. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state. Sales agents may be compensated based on a consumer's enrollment in a health plan. No obligation to enroll. We do not offer every plan available in your area. Any information we provide is limited to those plans we do offer in your area. Please contact Medicare.gov or 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all your options.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. If you have a furnace, boiler, air handler, or heat pump that needs service, repairs, or might need to be replaced, contact us at aircomfortservice.com. We offer 24/7 emergency service, maintenance plans to keep your system operating at maximum efficiency, and free estimates if your heating system barely made it through last winter. Get in your comfort zone and heat your home safely this winter with Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Contact us at aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
Help make a child's Christmas wishes come true as part of the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program. It's easy to adopt an angel right from your cell phone. Visit salarmymidland.org on the website. You will see the list of angels and their Christmas wishes. Select the angel you wish to adopt by November 29th and enter your information. Go to salarmymidland.org and adopt your angel today.
At 12:30, we've got some clouds and 40 degrees now downtown at the Arch. Outgoing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she will not seek a leadership role in the new Congress. Pelosi says she's ready to pass the baton to the next generation of young voices.
And with great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress.
Starbucks workers at more than 100 U.S. stores are on strike today, including some in the St. Louis metro. It's the largest labor action since a campaign to unionize Starbucks stores began late last year. The walkouts are scheduled to coincide with Starbucks' annual Red Cup Day, when the company gives free reusable cups to customers who order a holiday drink. Workers say it's often one of the busiest days of the year. They say they are seeking better pay, more consistent schedules, and better staffing. And right now, there's a crash, 6440 west before McKnight in the left lane. A stall, 270 west before Elizabeth. That's on the right shoulder. Weather is sponsored by the Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company. And this afternoon's not as cold as yesterday. Early sun gives way to more clouds as we go into the afternoon. Breezy as well, with the high of 44. Some flurries, maybe even a snow shower as we go through the afternoon into tonight. It turns frigid overnight with the low 22 and the real feel temperatures in the single digits. Tomorrow's quite cold with a breeze and a high of 33. Real field temperatures stay in the 20s tomorrow. Chances are you have a lot of people who depend on you, your family, maybe even employees. Life insurance from Penn Mutual can provide you peace of mind and protect the most important people in your life. Ask your independent advisor or go to pennmutual.com/STL. It's partly cloudy and 39 in Florissant, 39 St. Peters, and 40 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, regardless of age or past medical history, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call now, 314-720-8081.
With the holidays approaching, it's easy to get caught up in, well, let's look at everything, right? I mean, there's a lot going on. You've got plans coming up for Thanksgiving next week and for Christmas, New Year's, whatever's coming up down the road. And it's easy to get caught up in all those things. I want to get your attention, though, for just a minute here and talk about Cardinal Glennon and the Tree of Hope campaign. So SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital is working with us here at KMOX, but with all of our Odyssey stations to raise money that are beneficial year-round to the families of children who need the special kind of care that you can get at Cardinal Glennon. If you want to donate, we would really appreciate it. It's 20357 to donate via text. You can also go to KMOX.com/Cardinal Glennon. Look, it's always hard to deal with these challenges. I know, at this time of year, everything feels like it's a little bit more. Like I said, there's a lot going on. But it's important to understand that the services provided by Cardinal Glennon are not provided everywhere. So a lot of times people need to come from all over the region to get the treatment they need at Cardinal Glennon. And keep in mind, these programs aren't always covered by insurance. And sometimes families can't cover the bill themselves either. That's where you come in with the Tree of Hope campaign. If you want to learn a little bit more about some of the stories, feel free to go to glennon.org/our-patients. You can learn a lot more there. I think everybody knows the story of Cardinal Glennon, though. They do miraculous work year-round, and look, they need our help, and those children need our help. Text 20357 or go to KMOX.com/Cardinal Glennon.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
You wouldn't trust a butcher to babysit your pet pig. You wouldn't trust a lumberjack to repair your antiques. Or a professional wrestler to be your massage therapist. So why would you trust anyone but AMCO to fix your car? For over 50 years, we've been the trusted experts in transmission repair.
AMCO offers easy payment plan options for most any credit situation, so you can fix it fast and pay it off slow at AMCO.
AAMCO.
It's Thursday Night Football as the Titans take on the Packers. Catch the game here. Kickoff at 7. The Titans. The Packers. Football on America's Sports Voice. KMOX.
12:35 on the show on a Thursday. That means it's time for us to talk sports with our buddy Matt Pauley, host of Sports Open Line. Does a fantastic job across the board. Good to talk to you, Matt. How's everything going today?
Good. I was about to start singing the lyrics of Bittersweet Symphony there.
Please do. Please do. We would welcome your vocal talent.
Why don't you go ahead and take that song with you?
You don't like that song?
No.
Well, I
no.
did until I heard it every day for 6 months.
Okay, so I mean that's an old. I remember I think my freshman year of high school, I wrote a paper based upon that song. That would have been that song came out late 90s, early 2000s. That's an old song.
They ripped off the Rolling Stones.
What?
I've read that.
They did?
But
Yeah.
I still like the song.
I mean,
For that song?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a Rolling Stones song that sounds exactly like that. And I think they did win their lawsuit against the Verve for that.
You're probably a Rolling Stones guy, Dave. Is that true?
I'm not too sure.
It's true.
Is it Sympathy for the Devil, I think?
No.
That
It's
song?
totally different here. I'll find the name of the song while you guys chat
Anyway.
with Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi.
Hey,
Why you guys-
I derailed the conversation within the first 4 words.
Hey, sports guy. How did
No. He's sports fella now.
Sports fella. How did the sports go last night?
I don't know if Amy's talked much about being cold, and she was like legit cold because she was outside.
Yeah.
I was in a booth. I knew that Amy was tougher than me when she came upstairs after her last hit, and she saw me like huddled in this hallway where I was trying to get warm. But I had been in a booth the entire time that just happened to have the windows open, where she had literally been outside. So still thawing, but it was a lot of fun last night.
Yep. It was so much. The atmosphere was incredible. That broadcast booth, it felt surreal looking down on the pitch from the KMOX broadcast booth with Nate Gatter and Simon Rose. You were up there. Tom Ackerman was up there. I don't know, Matt. It was a spectacle, and it was exciting that it's ours.
Yeah, so the thing that hit me, like as the game is getting started and I look down to my left and it's the supporter section, and obviously everybody's standing because you have to, but the flags are going and the drums are going and the chants are going, and just the coordination of those chants was cool. Like they'd be doing something, and then obviously like there'd be a shot on goal, and at like the exact moment they would all change to something else. Like the coordination of what they were doing was very impressive.
And I was talking to Mitch Maurice of the Luligans, and it was so much fun having the drum beat the entire time from the supporter section. The supporter section is the entire north end of the stadium, and they've locked down the seats, and there are bars because you're standing in a very steep section. So there's bars that you can hold on to so you're not going to fall. But they lock down the seats. So it's standing room only for 3,000 fans. They've got flags. They have the drums. They were singing and chanting the whole time. And we're talking to Simon Rose, and he said in the UK, they've banned flags at soccer games in case someone were to use the flagpole as a weapon. So we still can have flags at City Park.
Yes,
It's true.
Well said, Amy.
All right.
All right. Anyway, going back to the Verve.
Moving right along.
Anything else?
It was The Last Time by the Rolling Stones.
This song?
No.
You said this is the last time by the Rolling Stones.
It's a simple.
Why is that so loud?
That's not it.
Oh, it's very loud.
All
right, well, that's not it.
That's got to get. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a
Here's
lot.
the thing. I don't like that song, and I like Bittersweet Sweet Symphony, so the Verve should have won.
They did, actually.
Oh, okay.
Not because the Rolling
This
Stones
is the
basically signed
version.
over the rights.
This is the version that they were sued over.
This is the Rolling Stones.
Oh.
See? And I told you, and the Rolling Stones won the lawsuit.
That is thievery.
That is absolutely
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah,
Thank
okay.
you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All right.
apparently in 2019, the Stones, they just get it backed up. Like, hey, listen, you guys are good. We're going to let it go. That's the end of that story.
That was nice of them.
Very nice of them.
I think this is the best conversation we've ever had with
I'd
Matt.
agree. All right, so Matt, quick change of gears here to the Blues last night, because last time we talked Blues was what the hell's wrong with them? Why is this so bad? And now they've won 4 games in a row. You had a cool moment last night with Ivan Barbashev scoring a goal. His mom in attendance. He hadn't seen her in 2 years. It's nice to actually have something fun to talk about with his team again.
Yeah, it's all wins or all losses. They started off the season with the winning streak, and then they went into the losing streak, and now they're winning. Like, is that what this team is going to be? Just this roller coaster ride that it's either going really, really good or really, really bad? I think the bottom line is they were always a lot better than the team that lost 8 in a row. And they were, there were some quirky things that happened in there. The other side of it is they are, they're trying to figure out the line combinations and who has chemistry with each other. It may have just been one player, exiting with David Perron, but that changed everything. And they start with trying to have O'Reilly with Kyrou, and that didn't seem to work. So for me right now, I kind of feel like that 8-game losing streak, all that was a team that's still just kind of trying to find themselves. And I don't know if they totally have yet, but they certainly are in a lot better place now than they were a week ago.
This is why they play 82, right? Is that what the saying is?
Yeah. Again, I mean, there's no reason to jump off any bridge when they were where they were at. But but at the same time, an 8-game losing streak is an 8-game losing streak. Like, that's a lot of games where you don't get points in a row. So you couldn't ignore it either. Like there's, the truth is always somewhere in the middle. You can't completely freak out, but you also have to look at it for what it is and try to figure out how to fix it. So, the people said, everything's okay, no big deal. They were wrong. But the people who said, this team's horrible, everybody needs to be traded, Craig Berube needs to be fired, those people were wrong too.
Well, the reality is good teams typically don't lose 8 in a row ever.
I mean, this franchise
ever.
never had.
Yeah, that just it just doesn't happen. So there was reason to be alarmed. I think it makes sense. Since it's not baseball season, let's turn our attention to it.
Yeah, let's go. It's hot stove season, dude.
Matt, we know one of the foundational aspects of the Cardinals is their defense, and they won that Rawlings Team Gold Glove for the second straight year, which means they're the best defensive team. And while that's part of what they are, and it limits the amount of runs they give up, how much emphasis needs to happen? And I know we've talked about this before, but as we're getting into the off season here, we're getting closer to the meetings, which will happen at the beginning of next month. Is pitching the number one thing for them, or is it still lineup?
I think it's still lineup. They need to score more runs. Now, the pitching as it sits right now is good enough for them to win the division. We can have the argument about whether or not it's good enough for them to go deep in the playoffs. And we saw the teams that did go deep in the playoffs, for the most part, had their top 2 pitchers that were starting were better than the Cardinals' top 2 pitchers. So I would be concerned about pitching if this is the group that they have going into the postseason. But at the same time, I do think that the ability to score more runs and have a couple more big bats in the middle of the lineup is the biggest need for this team.
It's an interesting thing to say. And by the way, I completely agree with you. It's interesting to say that when you have 2 of the top 3 MVP finalists going into tonight. The MVP award is going to go out tonight. Probably Paul Goldschmidt, but you got Goldie and Arenado both in the top 3. And I think you're 100% accurate. You still need more. You're going to need another guy at the very least to replace what you got from Albert Pujols. But then you're going to need more than that to just have that's just standing pat. To get better, you got to add more than that.
Exactly. So we got done with the season and thought, okay, they need one more bat to what they already had. And the biggest, just look at what happened in the second half of the season. They went on that run, especially in the month of August. It completely coincided with Albert's bat getting hot. So that Goldschmidt and Arenado were having very, very good seasons for the first half of the year, and they were not winning at the clip that they needed to. They were a second place team for much of that time. So yeah, they need more than Goldschmidt and Arenado, and they need more high level bats. We've talked about this before, but the only thing that kind of concerns me about this team, that I think depth can hurt you sometimes when you want to bring somebody in, but you've got a full 40-man and things like that, and you're trying to figure out how to fit somebody onto the roster. That's why I'm actually in favor of them potentially trading away from their major league roster. Like, as much as I like a Lars Nootbaar, as much as I like a Dylan Carlson, if moving one of those guys can help you bring in, just that all-star caliber bat, then I think you do it. And it helps with that roster crunch a little bit as well.
It's interesting you say that about Lars, because I over the last few days, I've seen, and I can't recall who it was, but a lot of Twitter conversation about him and, you can't trade him for catching. And my thought is, why?
Oh, yes, you can.
Like, why not? Like, he was. Are we positive that he's really, really good, or do we just know he had a good year?
I think somebody like him gets, and I hate saying this because I really like him and he's so much fun to watch, but a player who plays the way he plays, who's got that infectious energy from a fan standpoint, I do think you start to overvalue what he does. And I talk about track record all the time. He does not have a track record. He basically has less than a half season of being an above average major leaguer. There are a million guys who have had better than a half season of, above average major league play. And then for whatever reason, they don't put it all together. So I personally believe in Lars Nootbaar and think he's going to be a really good player. But just because I believe that doesn't mean that that's for sure going to happen. So if it takes trading Lars Nootbaar to go get a high level catcher or a big bat in the middle of the lineup, yeah, you move Nootbaar. I don't even think it's there's much of a choice there.
It's also one of the few spots available where you could add the upgrade that you're looking for in terms of that track record, right? I mean, unless you're trading Tyler O'Neill or trading Dylan Carlson, those guys are more entrenched than Nootbaar. Your infield is basically entrenched, and even if it's not totally, you've got like 6 guys for 4 spots when you can move Nolan Gorman and Brendan Donovan and Tommy Edman around. I mean, you've got a lot of people that can fill those roles. That may be a spot where you can also get that upgrade. So if you're trading him for catching and then replacing him with that left-handed bat we've been talking about, and then, all right, that's a pretty nice trade-off.
Yeah, I think the obvious answer here is you go get a catcher who is going to do more for you offensively, whether that is a Contreras, whether that is a Murphy, one of those guys, a name that we're not even talking about. And then if you're saying, well, we're still one more bat away, where does that bat come from? I know there's been a lot of talk about shortstop, and maybe they do get in on the shortstop market at some point. But to me, it would be a lot easier to add that bat to the outfield.
Matt, good stuff, buddy. Thanks for doing this. We always appreciate you.
You bet. Anytime.
That is our man, Matt Pauley. What do we call him now, Ronch? Sports fella?
He's a sports fella this week.
He's our sports fella on the show this week.
Yeah.
Does a great job. And it did a great job last night on the match, but does a great job in general. And, of course, you can catch him on Sports Open Line this time of year, weeknights, 6 to 8, barring a conflict with Billikens basketball or something along those lines.
The 3-0 Bills.
How about them, by the way? What a win over
Dang, they
Memphis.
good.
Not only 3-0, but with 2 really quality wins.
Yeah.
Because Murray State's good, and they beat them, and Memphis is really good, and they beat them. The Billikens are good.
Go Bills.
We'll be talking about them more down the line here on the show.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomesaintlouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-328-8000.
By now, if you've been listening to me for the last several months, you know that just taking that Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza and putting it in the oven, it's just such a comforting thing. First of all, you know it's going to be good. You know that you're getting the half pound of award-winning Wisconsin mozzarella cheese on every single pizza. You know that whichever one you choose, you're going to get a lot of those high-quality ingredients. If you're getting the 4-meat pizza, the sausage, the pepperoni, the Canadian bacon, it is absolutely lights out. The Supreme is all of the meat toppings plus the veggie toppings as well. I love the Hawaiian. I love the bacon cheeseburger one, too. The little bit of hint of bacon just changes it. It makes it that much better. Or if it's just the good old traditional cheese pizza, you know you're going to get a lot of taste. You know you're going to get all of what you're looking for with the Brew Pub Lots of Matzo Pizza. But you know the other nice thing about just throwing them in the oven at your own home is you get the lead up, right? You got that entire time that it's cooking in the oven, and you get the smells that waft through the house. So you get that nice buildup, and when you get the payoff, it's absolutely amazing. So next time you're at the grocery store, do yourself the favor. You want to have these stocked up for the weekends for your sports watching or whatever. It's the frozen section in your store, the Brew Pub, Lots of Matzo Pizzas, all kinds of great choices. Whichever one you pick, you're going to be happy.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. We continue shining a light on great work by nonprofits. Meet Unleashing Potential, known by its initials UP. UP focuses on discovering and unleashing the very best in each child they assist. Busey Bank is proud to partner with Unleashing Potential to help them fulfill their mission. Listen to our November podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
Now your Bite This Network traffic report. It looks like every vehicle in the country is currently headed to Hardee's for a saucy A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99. You heard that right. Every single car, truck, and annoying electric scooter thing all heading to Hardee's. But don't take a detour. Hit the brakes on your hunger with a Charbroil Double Deal. Bite into the new A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99, only at Hardee's. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price may vary. A1 is a registered trademark of Kraft Foods used with permission.
When you want a brand new kitchen, there's nothing to it. There's a brand new way to do it. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath.
Jerry Adler had their kitchen remodeled by 3-Day Kitchen and Bath and talks about the experience.
If we had only met Darren when we started doing this construction, I would have been a lot happier girl than I am now. My husband, when he heard the 3-Day Kitchen and Bath would be in 3 days and out in 3 days, did not believe me.
Did he change his mind?
When he saw that 3-Day Kitchen and Bath came in and was gone in 3 days, he found that that was the best experience we have had. Darren worked with us on our budget so that we could have the kitchen we needed without feeling like we were completely out of our league. They were professional, cared about the other part of the house. The work is beautiful. I wanted to give them the biggest hug ever.
Top quality materials and workmanship. 3-Day Kitchen and Bath. On the web at 3daykitchen.com.
Get ready for a one-of-a-kind audio-visual experience. Timeless and everlasting. KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more, live in concert, 3 p.m. Saturday, December 10th at Enterprise Center. Don't miss this holiday tradition. $1 of each ticket sold to the 3 p.m. show will go to SSM Health Cardinal Glennon. Get full ticket and show details on the events page at KMOX.com.
Wonder Lights Christmas in St. Louis is brighter than ever at Worldwide Technology Raceway. The holliest, jolliest Christmas light show in the area is celebrating the season from November 11th until January 1st. Tickets now available at wonderlightschristmas.com. Brought to you in part by the Illinois Office of Tourism and Illinois South Tourism.
Hi, this is Ken. And Laurie Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families work toward their financial goals.
Join us Sundays at 9:30 a.m. for Your Retirement Highway.
Investment advisory services by individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Home Sweet Home mission is to give underserved families a sense of pride and to improve the quality of their lives by providing basic household furnishings. To learn more, go to homesweethomestl.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Back to the show.
Yeah, the show!
With Amy, Chris, and Kevin on KMOX.
You know, guys,
what?
Sometimes I feel bad when the little guy gets stepped on. You know, like I feel bad when,
like Jeff Bezos,
that little engine that could at Amazon sometimes,
yeah,
has to make a lot less money than they thought they were going to make, even though they're making more than they did a year ago.
I thought the little engine that could was ExxonMobil.
Oh, that's them too.
Oh, yeah,
and
those poor guys.
It's Elon and
Elon.
Yeah, they're all that
changing the world,
I feel
saving
bad
the world
for those people when they project that they're going to make $800 billion and it's only $600 billion. I feel bad. That sucks.
Well, and here's the thing: when things are not going well for you as a company, times are tough. You got to cinch up the belt a little bit. You know what I mean?
Times are tough.
Well, Amazon, just like Facebook is laying off a ton of people, Amazon, you may have heard, was going to start laying off 10,000 people approximately. That's already begun.
Oh,
the reports
happy
are
holidays.
Happy holidays, right in time for Thanksgiving.
To clarify, it is from their corporate staff. So it'd be 3% of their corporate staff and it won't be the warehouse
now,
workers.
They do employ something like 1.5 million people around the country. And I think that includes the drivers and those kinds of folks. But still, 10,000 people is a lot of people to put on their ass, especially at this time. And this is after quarterly their last quarter year to year was up 14.7%. We're not losing money.
No, so it's up.
It's up.
Oh.
It's up. They're
So
not losing money.
But they lose money when you're up less than you wanted to be.
That's right. That's right. Which is just, they're not growing as fast as they want to. Which is just like, I get it, business, whatever, gotta do what you gotta do. But try telling people that who now are out of work and they have to go find a new job.
Yeah. And
you're still making money. You're making money.
I don't know if these companies were growing too quickly or because it's such a volatile market that they did have to hire this staff knowing that, well, now these jobs are soon the jobs would no longer be necessary. I will say it does seem to be going down quite differently than it is at Twitter. So what Amazon is doing is it's helping affected employees find new jobs internally. And if they can't find new jobs within Amazon, they're providing severance that includes separation payment, transitional benefits, and external job placement support, including 2 months at their current level of pay with benefits and helping them find new jobs outside of Amazon. So it does sound like they're at least providing more resources than Elon at Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's severance, but severance is 3 months from a lot of places. They're giving you 2.
And profits are still up.
They're not losing money.
It's just not as up as they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And in the business world, not being up as much as you wanted to be is losing.
And that means people lose their jobs.
Yeah.
Just what a dumb way of doing things.
Super frustrating. I wish I had more to add. I don't. Just sucks. I guess making less than you thought is now a loss. Oh, well. I'm sure.
Amy, give me $1.
Yeah. Amy, please.
No.
Oh, she gave me 50 cents. She's fired.
Hey, we're gonna get it. Speaking of things falling apart, FTX is on the list next here on the show.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicide, mental health, or substance use crisis, call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, trained crisis specialists will listen to your concerns, provide support, and get you the help you need. There is hope. The Lifeline works. For 24/7 confidential support, just call, text, or chat 988. A message from the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-5555. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, behind on taxes houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-5555. That's 314-782-5555.
KMOX, KEZK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Get 4 tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium when you donate your car to Goodwill. It's easy, towing is free, and you'll get a tax receipt too. Dive in and check it out at mersgoodwill.org.
Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill.
Hotel St. Louis is looking forward to sharing Thanksgiving at your home or ours. Bring your party to Union 30 or take Union 30 home. Either way, Hotel St. Louis does the hard part. Traditional turkey or ham with all the trimmings, sides, and desserts to choose from. Relax and enjoy the feast with your guests in your home or at the magnificent Union 30 in the historic St. Louis Hotel. To order or make reservations, call Union 30 this week at 314-241-4300. That's 314-241-4300.
Chad here with ClaymanGroup.com, KLAMEN Group.com, where we buy property as is. For those of you not paying attention, the market is changing and prices are not continuing to rise. If you've thought about selling your house in the past few years, now is the time before the market changes even more. I'm here to make you a cash offer and a quick close on your timeline. You can find us online and fill out a form at claimingroup.com, KLAMEN group.com, KLAMEN group.com.
Carol Daniel for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Online at youridoc.com or 314-966-5000.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 1 o'clock, we've got clouds and 40 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. Our top story this hour.
CBS News special report. President Biden called her a fierce defender of democracy. After 2 decades, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will step down from Democratic leadership.
Never would I have thought that someday I would go from homemaker to House Speaker.
She'll continue to fight for the people of San Francisco.
The Capitol is a temple of our democracy, of our Constitution, of our highest ideals.
CBS's Ashley Etienne is Pelosi's former spokesperson.
She signaled to women in big and small ways how to lead, how to lead with a level of fearlessness, to put your country before party, before politics.
It was a mostly packed house, but notably missing.
We did not see a leader McCarthy, which I think is notable considering he is now positioning himself to become the next Speaker of the House. And so one wonders what, if any, of those conversations might be like.
Nicole Kellyan reporting, CBS News Special Report. I'm Stacey Lynn.
Rawlings plans to create a new destination for baseball fans. The St. Louis County-based company is moving its headquarters from Town & Country to Westport Plaza. There, it'll build an immersive experience where people can design their own gloves or try on those worn by Major League stars. Rawlings Vice President of Sports Marketing, Eric Reinsfelder, says it'll be a must-visit spot.
I've got to go to the St. Louis Arch. I've got to go to the St. Louis Zoo. I've got to go to the Rawlings experience.
The company also plans to put a giant gold glove atop the gold building at Westport Plaza. The plaza is also adding restaurants, bars, and apartments. The man who had to clean up the mess at Enron says the situation at FTX is even worse, describing what he calls a complete failure of corporate control. The filing by John Ray III, the new CEO of the bankrupt cryptocurrency firm, lays out a damning description of FTX's operations under its founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, from a lack of security controls to business funds being used to buy employees' homes and luxuries. Another open house about Jana Elementary.
This one will be conducted by the Army Corps of Engineers. Jana Elementary School closed following reports of high levels of radioactive contamination by private testing. Tonight, the Army Corps meets at Florissant Municipal Court starting at 5 o'clock to discuss its preliminary findings of sampling both inside and outside of Jana Elementary. The Corps says our preliminary findings continue to confirm that from a radiological standpoint, the school is safe. Stuart McMillan, KMOX News.
Today is National Rural Health Day, and Michael Falacare with the Federal Office of Rural Health Policy says 1 in 5 rural residents has mental illness, a higher rate than urban areas.
Most rural Americans, so over 60% of them, live in what's called a mental health professional shortage area, where basically the demand for mental health providers is way more than the existing supply.
Another problem for rural areas, hospitals closing. 10 have closed in Missouri in the past 10 years, leaving many women without maternity care. The First Mid Bank and Trust business desk and ousted Twitter employee sues.
A former engineering manager at Twitter is suing the company, saying Elon Musk's demands that all Twitter employees return physically to the office and work, quote, long hours at high intensity, discriminate against workers with disabilities. The plaintiff, who is a cancer survivor and says he's especially vulnerable to COVID, says he was fired soon after telling his supervisor that he wanted to keep working from home. I'm Andrew O'Day, Bloomberg Radio.
Down from Steeples, up 35 points. And there are emergency vehicles on 270 going west at West Florissant. Watch out there. A crash on 141 going south past Bowles Fenton area. That's in the left shoulder right now. Weather sponsored by St. Louis City SC.
KMOX AccuWeather this afternoon, breezy, not as cold as yesterday. Early sun, more clouds this afternoon, high 44. Then some flurries and snow showers tonight. Down to 22, real feels single digits. Colder tomorrow, back up to just 33. Real feels only in the 20s in the afternoon. Low 40s as we moderate the cold for the weekend. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
The new MLS club is now hiring stadium employees for the historic inaugural season. To work for St. Louis's professional soccer team, visit stlcitysc.com/jobs. That's stlcitysc.com/jobs. Partly cloudy, 39 in Florissant, 41 St. Peter's, 40 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
All right, 105 on the show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. Why are you
because I can't even tell you what just happened.
Yes, you can.
Amy.
She did. What?
Amy Marks Kors.
No, I didn't.
Amy Marks Kors.
No, I didn't.
Swore at me.
No, I didn't.
I don't think it was a real swear.
Yes, it
wasn't a real
was. She
swear.
called me.
No, I didn't.
She called me a-hole, but she said the word.
No, she did not.
Yes, she did.
I didn't.
I did not hear the full word.
Thank you.
Well, I did. I'm closer. I heard it.
No.
But you're also a disturber.
Well, yeah.
I believe it was right after
That's
you
neither
said
here nor
you-
there, Kevin. That is.
After you pushed my phone and all my stuff on the ground and kicked my chair.
You called me fat yesterday.
No, I didn't.
No,
Yes, you did.
I
That's not what
saved
she said.
you from the appearance of having a wider.
No.
But they said
Amy,
no.
Amy,
Don't.
Amy,
Yeah.
let me be your lawyer here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were saying you don't want to look fat. That doesn't mean that you are fat.
Well, but not that there's anything wrong with that. I
No,
was
what
just
ha-
saying
here's what
it
happened.
wouldn't be a true representation of what you looked like.
Here's what happened. Our boss Steve Moore brought in STL City jerseys, kits,
shirts.
Brought them in because they were unveiled yesterday,
Mhm.
and I was about to try one on. And
Yep.
Amy said, soccer jerseys are not for whales, Chris.
No, oh my gosh.
That's what
guys,
she said.
He's gaslighting all of us
That
right now.
is,
None of this happened.
Yeah, that is the gaslightiest thing I've heard Ranji
Yeah.
say, and that's saying a
She
lot.
said,
Thank you.
I just saw a movie and Brendan
No.
Fraser plays you.
Okay,
Wow.
That's
no.
what she said.
No,
I'm so glad that we have smart listeners who know that Chris Ranji
it's full of it.
is full of it.
You know who else is full of it? These crypto people.
Oh my lord! Not necessarily all of them, but those FTX ones.
Yes.
Ugh.
Oh my gosh.
How
Hey,
about all of the folks that got money from them to do commercials and
Like Tom Brady.
and Larry David? They're all in trouble. Even the spokespeople are in trouble right now. They're all named in the lawsuit.
I don't think so. And I'm never wrong about this stuff. Never.
Okay. So
That's Larry.
Larry David on the
Oh,
FTX
no.
commercial, and that was the Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
So everybody knows, I think by now, if you've been paying attention, FTX has just totally crashed, and a bunch of people have lost a lot of money.
For those that are not crypto-y,
I think you should set
Explain
the table.
FTX.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Yeah,
Let me just say, crypto's
I don't
stupid.
know what it is.
Crypto is stupid, and a lot of people
it's
have
invented currency
It's invented currency that they mine it, and I still don't know where they mine it from, but they mine it
from the internet mines.
from the out there, from there. And people like Larry David, Tom Brady, Giselle, Steph Curry, Shaq, Naomi Osaka, all these people have put their names on it as endorsers of this FTX, which is
because-
just absolutely crazy.
which is
So
a
it's-
crypto exchange.
Right.
Yeah, that was valued at $32 billion earlier this year and recently filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah, and Sam Bankman-Fried, who was the he was
Crypto bro.
He was the
he's the
CEO.
crypto bro. He was the CEO. He's no longer with them, but he lost almost all of his money as a result of this because they were taking risks with people's money, and it's a huge mess. But the question is, if you're a celebrity endorser, and this is true for us too. I mean, we're not celebrities, but we can do endorsements. I mean, we talk about various companies. There is, I think anyway, there should be a responsibility to make sure that what you're doing and what you're endorsing is on the up and up and is not dangerous, so that people don't listen to you, take these crazy risks, and then lose a lot of money. Don't you think that people like Larry David, who I love, and Steph Curry, who I love, shouldn't just be taking the money? Like, you should really know this is kind of a volatile thing, and maybe I shouldn't tell people they need to go for
But
it.
I do see crypto. I mean, there were a lot of smart people, and it wasn't like a scam. I see crypto as different than like a diet pill, right? Or some fad, whatever. crypto had some legitimacy to it, some credibility. I think it was outside the scope of understanding for a lot of us. Like we said, what does it even mean to mine crypto? Because crypto was the new wave, the future of currency, and was supposed to somehow be greener than money. But now they're saying mining takes so much energy with these supercomputers that it's not green.
But you're mining for nothing.
Yeah, but information.
It's a digital virtual thing. That's not in the real world.
So I
sound really old when I say that.
I can't necessarily fault the celebrities for not knowing, I guess, if how valid crypto is. Although I think whenever you're encouraging someone to take a financial step, specifically if that financial step could be very risky, I think you have extra responsibility. So it's not a diet scam, but it's also
worse. In a way, it's worse.
I think a scam is a lot different than something that fell apart. Like a legitimate thing that was mismanaged by an individual, because other crypto is, I mean, it's always erratic. It's always volatile, as they say. And I mentioned this earlier in the week. A friend of mine that's in the investment community made it very clear. Yeah, there's a lot of volatility with things like Bitcoin or whatever. But that to them in the business, in the investment world, is expected. It's not that unusual. And his view, and that of a lot of people there, is that crypto is legitimate and it's not going anywhere. It's going to be around. It's not a scam the way that they look at it. This is a case of a mismanaged company. And then I think that's why this is an interesting question, right? Because I think you're right, Ron. You do need to know who you're stepping up and speaking on behalf of.
Sure.
You would think, especially if you're going to get, I'm assuming they all got paid a lot because Tom Brady and Larry David and Steph Curry, they're not doing these things for $100.
Probably got paid in crypto from FTX.
Could be. That
which
be
you know,
well, maybe then that they paid the price with everybody else.
Yeah, the currency, the valuations of the future, they are inherently risky. And so again, they're not scammy, but they're risky. And I do think you have a responsibility when you're endorsing something that is risky. Kind of like the NFTs, the non-fungible tokens, and how ridiculous that was. Even I not knowing very much about NFTs and exactly how it works, I wouldn't feel comfortable encouraging people to spend their hard-earned money on that type of thing because there's something about it that seems too new, too volatile. And as we've seen, people have lost their shirts on NFTs.
Yeah, and so part of I guess the beginning of the issue here with FTX is that there is an associated company called Alameda Research, and they are also a crypto trader. So what they were doing with the FTX money that people were buying, they were buying crypto through FTX. They were using that money, and they're not supposed to fund Alameda. Like they were shifting that money over for in investments, and they're being investigated now by the Department of Justice, by the Federal Trade Commission, because they were doing all those things, because you're not supposed to move people's money around like that, but they were doing it. And the issue is maybe it's not crypto itself. I just think that cryptocurrency is, it kind of lends itself to being taken advantage of by these crypto bros who run the companies, because they see life a lot of times. They see life and all this as a game. And there are winners and losers, and they don't really care if they screw people over in the process as long as they make out okay. And that's really a problem if people are going to invest their money in you. And there's this direct message exchange that Sam Bankman-Fried had with, what's the reporter's name? It was a reporter for Vox, and she took screenshots, and then she verified it was him, because she had interviewed him in the past, and she had reached out after all this had happened. Her name is Kelsey Piper. And she had reached out after all this happened again, didn't think she was going to hear back from him. And he responded, and they went back and forth. And you can read for yourself if you go to Vox.com, because you can see the screenshots of the exchanges they had. And there's just this tone from him like, this is kind of how it is. People shouldn't get hurt, but they do. And, well, whatever. Like, it's very, like, he doesn't care about his customers. And I know it's unfair to just say that all people who run companies like this have the same sort of mindset, but I would bet you most of them do. and I wouldn't trust them with anything that I have. I'd give them nothing because I don't trust that they're going to have my interest at heart.
Yeah. And there are legal filings in this that are accusing them of kind of a form of a Ponzi scheme and all that. So we'll see where it ends up going
with Alameda. Yeah.
And obviously, I don't personally think you want to put the responsibility on the spokespeople. I understand though the point that you definitely need to be careful and maybe look into more who wants to give you money. Just because they're offering a big check doesn't mean it's automatically okay or a good idea to get involved with that group. All right, coming up next, Ranji wants to sell Amy and I a house, or separately a house.
You already
No,
have a house.
I want to buy the house.
You want to buy this house? You want to buy my house? You don't want? Yeah, I'm not selling my house.
I want to buy the house.
Oh, you're going to buy a different house. All right, we'll talk about that next on the show.
Well, if you are a business owner with 5 or more employees and you managed to survive the past couple of years and all that COVID threw at you, listen up. You could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. Now, it's important to note that this isn't a loan and there's no payback. This is a refund of your taxes, and businesses of all types can qualify, even if you took PPP, even if you're a nonprofit, or even if you saw an increase in sales. Now, to find out if your business qualifies, just go to getrefunds.com. Then you'll click on Qualify Me and answer a few questions, and you can find out if you are eligible for this tax refund. Now, this payroll tax refund is available only for a limited amount of time, so you don't want to wait. You want to go to getrefunds.com and know that the team of tax attorneys that they've put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program. They've already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. Just go to getrefunds.com.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
This is Debbie Monterey with a real estate update and some insight for my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria told me that sitting on the sidelines may not be the best strategy moving forward in this continually shifting market. Homes aren't selling as quickly, and in most cases, price reductions are becoming pretty common. Gloria also said that earlier this year, with low inventory, sellers didn't need a strategy to sell homes because homes were listed and sold immediately. Now more than ever, it's crucial to have a proven strategy to get your home sold, and that's why I strongly suggest you call local real estate expert Gloria Liu before you list your home to get the absolute most money. Gloria is so confident that she will sell your home, she'll guarantee in writing upfront to sell it at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she'll buy your home herself. Learn more by calling Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at LanceDruryLaw.com.
This time of year, you might notice that the brick in your patio is going astray. Call Morelli. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan for Morelli Tuck Pointing, which has won every award possible in this industry, including the Better Business Bureau Torch Award, which is only given to companies with exceptional customer service. Morelli Tuck Pointing is the masonry specialist, serving St. Louis and beyond for 31 years. Morelli can do completely solid houses and buildings, spot pointing with color match, brick and stone repair, foundation repair, walkways, porches, patios, caulking, waterproofing solutions, and much more. Family owned and operated, and a lot of longtime employees that are like family. Call and request a free and quick estimate at 314-645-1387 or online at MorelliTuckPointing.com. And don't forget to check out their great reviews on the Google and Better Business Bureau websites. 314-645-1387 or MorelliTuckPointing.com.
Hey, listener. Welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it.
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gonna fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty. God, I'm so stressed about my business not being ready for the holidays.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Ooma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Ooma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Trusted information, live and local. From the award-winning KMOX Newsroom.
Show. Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores, Kevin Wheeler with you here. So I got it wrong in the last segment. Ranj is not trying to sell us a house. He's trying to sell himself on buying a house. Is that what it is, Ranj?
Yes, I'm trying to sell. I want to buy a house.
You do.
There'll be no more signing today or ever again.
Guess what, guys?
What?
The Goonies house from Astoria, Oregon is for sale.
So?
Yeah, it's for sale. The house that Mikey and Brand all lived in, the one that they were going to have to sell to the rich guy who was a jerk in town.
How much is it for sale?
$1.5 million.
Right in your range.
1.5 mil.
What if you bought the Goonies house and I bought the Home Alone house because that house was for sale for a while? That would be epic.
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool to live in either one of those houses.
Mm-hmm.
But think about first of all, I didn't think this house was even, I didn't think it was still around. I thought it was gone by now because that was a 1985 or 86 movie, 1985. I love Goonies. I love it.
Hey,
I think it's what?
I've never seen the Goonies.
Oh, for the love of Pete. Are you kidding me?
I'll one up Amy.
No!
I watched about a half an hour and turned it off.
What?
I did not like it.
You are so stupid. Like, you're just a stupid man. I don't like it. There's not enough action. No, you're
I don't remember. I don't even remember why I didn't like it.
So how old would you have been in 1985?
So I would have been like 14.
You were so stupid.
This is a
how
really
could you not
nice
like
house.
It is. So they've renovated it. They've done a lot of renovations over the years, and it's got a great Pacific view, Pacific Ocean view. And the sellers of the house only want to sell to somebody who is a huge fan of the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm proposing that I start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And you all give me lots of money so I can buy this home.
I'll give you $1.
And look, and here,
in fact,
and
I'll hand it to you right now.
For added benefit, I'll totally leave. I'll go live in Oregon.
You're gonna be like, I'm gonna be.
You can get rid of me
Mm-hmm.
if you help me buy the Goonies house in Astoria.
That is so
worth it.
Yeah,
I'll be the first.
Yeah,
to
it's totally
contribute
worth
to
it.
that. You know, it's interesting though. Would this bother you? Because the owner says that there are people there outside the house 24/7, and she said even when you think that you've gone to bed, it's the middle of the night, you still see flashlights from people walking around the house. I don't think I could do that. It would be awful.
It'd be great because then you could like burst out the door and be like, "What are you doing?" and then freak people out.
I think you could Airbnb it.
Oh,
you could probably get for the entire house. You could probably get like for a weekend $6,000, easy.
Huh?
I could probably pay for that house in a couple of years just by renting it out on weekends.
Why aren't you then doing this?
Well, I got to get the money to first. So you have to. That's why we're doing the GoFundMe.
Go to the crypto guys.
Aside from the Home Alone house, which is what you mentioned,
That's
right,
in a
Amy?
nice neighborhood.
It is.
Yeah.
The Griswold house.
Oh, I want that one.
Which is not in Illinois. It's in California.
Which makes it nothing against Illinois. I love Illinois, but the idea of being in the warm weather makes it even better.
Yeah. Wouldn't you like to live in that one?
I would love to live in Clark W. Griswold's house.
Is there a
And
home?
then Amy could have
The Golden Girls
cousin
house.
Eddie's RV
Oh.
outside.
The Golden
I was
Girls.
going to say the
What's-
Golden Girls house, which I believe is actually, it is for sale, or it was for sale recently, and it's in California. It's in Brentwood, California, even though the show took place in Miami, Florida. And it was for sale recently. I think within the past year it was for sale. Oh, maybe 2 years.
My
it was for
second
sale.
choice would be the Amityville house.
No. Would you really?
Of
It's
course,
a pretty cool house.
Of course he would.
Why wouldn't you?
The one that has the attic windows that look like eyes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Because
of course
it's
you would do that.
Scary?
Why?
Because it's a scary movie.
Because there's ghosties.
Now, if we're talking about places that aren't actually real, I would love to live in Tony Stark's house, the one that's on the cliff.
Yeah, if we're going,
And then you got all the
full-on
stuff that's in
fiction,
the
yeah.
bottom. Yeah, I'm down with that.
Actually,
Well, if
3
we're
1.
going full fiction, then I want to live in Asgard.
Okay,
What's
well,
Asgard?
well, it's not even a real place. It's where Thor lives.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Thor is from Asgard.
It's where all the Norse gods live,
Yeah,
Well, we
which is
fit
why
right
I would
in.
belong. Yeah,
yeah, we sure too fit right in with the Norse gods.
I'm right there. I'm the stepbrother.
All right, fine. I'll live in the Red Keep.
Okay, we should 314-436-7900 if you want to text or call in. Which house? I think we should say Earth, though.
Earth.
You have to live on Earth.
So the Home Alone house, which is in the Chicago suburb.
The Golden Girls house, which is in Brentwood, California.
California.
The
Although
Lethal
it's
Weapon 3 house,
What?
the one that collapses and falls, but before it collapses, it falls. The one
What,
on
when the-
stilts
was
over
it when
the,
the-
over the cliff
Oh,
over the ocean.
Is that when the helicopter shows up and
I don't
starts?
remember.
I think a helicopter starts shooting at it.
Yeah, that happens, but I don't remember what leads to the falling. I think I haven't seen that movie in a long time, but I think old Mel Gibson made it fall.
Okay.
Hmm.
There was the.
Oh, I know what. I know
what?
this is niche, but I would live in Meg Ryan's apartment in You've Got Mail because apparently she's a little bookstore owner, but she lives in like a $5 million apartment on the Upper East Side or something like that. It's a ridiculously beautiful Manhattan apartment.
That doesn't sound right.
What?
You can't be a bookstore owner and live
Exactly,
there.
but they always do that. They do it in Hallmark where they have a struggling teacher who's
I
in a
wanna live in
$5 million
Hogwarts.
apartment.
You
No,
can't
Kevin,
live in Hogwarts,
it's not
Kevin.
on Earth.
Come back to reality.
Oh, it is on Earth.
No,
No.
You
Kevin.
get there through the place in London.
Oh,
I
I can't with this guy. He's the worst.
What
pick a place on Earth.
Pick a place on Earth that you would want to live, Kevin.
The Roman Colosseum.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean,
Stupid contribution,
Lot
but
of
at least
space.
it's on Earth.
A lot of space.
it is on Earth.
It's a fixer-upper, but I mean, I got a lot of things I could do with that. You could put a really big TV in there.
Yeah, that would be a great idea. Oh, I got one. The Ferris Bueller house.
Yes,
The one
that
that's
mid-century modern.
yeah, the one that's kind of like in the
Gem.
woods. I
Yep.
think that's in Park Ridge.
Tony Soprano's
Or
house.
I'm sorry. That's in Highland Park.
I think that was for sale.
Yeah, we
It
got
was for sale recently.
314 says Tony Soprano's house. That was pretty nice.
Yeah. I only saw the first two episodes. I got to get on
you're gonna
Sopranos.
Give me crap about the Goonies.
I told
What
you what
about-
happened with
what-
You're giving
Sopranos.
me crap about the
I didn't
Goonies, but
say
you haven't watched the Sopranos.
no. I didn't say I didn't like Sopranos. I didn't
Well, that's
turn it
true.
off after
That's
What
true.
about
you're
the
just, you're just
full-
20 years late
no. Yes.
on one of the greatest shows in the history of television.
Well, like I explained, Sopranos started when I was in college and I lived in the dorm and HBO was free. And then I moved out of the dorm, didn't have HBO, so I didn't keep up with it. And then it got away from me.
Wow, what a riveting timeline of your history. But what about the Full House house? The one that's on that famous street in San Francisco, those old Victorians?
What about you in jail?
Texter says the Friends apartment.
Oh, yeah.
That
That's
big
not a
old
real
place.
place.
Rent
It's not?
control.
Was that a
No.
studio set?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it. What about the Brady Bunch house?
Kind of fun.
Yeah, that's not too
Not
bad.
fast. It's 270s.
70s is kind of cool now.
Were you born
Is
in
it?
the 70s?
Yeah.
Yes, 71.
Oh.
Explains a lot.
Have you heard the news?
I'm Megan Lynch. These are the stories making news.
Start your day with Total Information AM.
I'm Debbie Monterey.
And I'm Tom Ackerman. Debbie, Tom, and Megan bring you St. Louis's news.
What Missouri's new voting laws.
Traffic from Roger Brand.
Busy on the highways.
And the latest forecast.
I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore.
At 8.
I'm Carol Daniel.
And I'm Tom Ackerman.
It's Total Information AM expanded with more news, interviews, and in-depth story
Those new
coverage.
COVID boosters.
Total Information AM on 98.7 FM, 1120 AM, and the Odyssey app.
KMX News Time is 1:29. Donate a car, get a tax receipt, and tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium at mersgoodwill.org.
The roller coaster. No matter your age, no matter the amusement park, it never ceases to bring the emotional goods, the anticipation, the excitement. And then the fear and adrenaline rush that comes with the king of all rides. The same can be said when it comes to your retirement. Lots of questions and concerns that for some can feel like a roller coaster. Will you be able to continue to live as comfortably as you do now? Will you have complete financial independence? Will you run out of money? How about taxes, Social Security, or healthcare? Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group can answer these questions and more with their in-depth portfolio X-ray. Call 636-230-8824 or visit theallfinancialgroup.com. And let's save the fear and adrenaline rush for the amusement park.
Investment advisory services offered by All Financial Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor in Missouri. Insurance products are offered through its affiliate, All Insurance Group, LLC, licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
At 1:30, it's sunny and up to 41 degrees downtown at the Arch. Outgoing House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says she is not ready to leave Washington, but she won't run for leadership. She says she's ready to pass the baton to the next generation of young voices while never forgetting the people that sent her to Washington.
My friends, no matter what title you all, my colleagues, have bestowed upon me, Speaker, Leader, Whip, there is no greater official honor for me than to stand on this floor and to speak for the people of San Francisco.
Starbucks workers at more than 100 stores throughout the country, including the St. Louis Metro, are on strike today. It comes on Red Cup Day when the company serves its holiday drinks in reusable cups. Starbucks, which opposes the unionization efforts, says it is aware of the walkouts and respects its employees' right to lawfully protest. Jay Leno remains hospitalized after suffering burns last weekend. The doctor overseeing his care says Leno is in good condition after undergoing surgery and other treatment for burns to his face, hands, and chest. Another surgery is ahead this week. Leno's St. Louis show at the Fox Theater has been canceled. And right now we've got the closure of Route N going west at I-6440. We've got emergency vehicles 270 west at West Florissant. Watch out there. Crash 141 south at Bowles on the left shoulder. And the forecast, we've got a high of 42 degrees today, a little warmer, but still cold. Some clouds and pockets of snow flurries going into tonight with an overnight low 20. For tomorrow, just plain cold with a high of 30. It's sunny and 41 degrees at the moment downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Planning a road trip this fall? Maximize your fuel economy by inflating tires to proper pressure and packing light. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
All right, do yourselves a favor. Write down this phone number, 314-966-5000. That is the number for Ophthalmology Associates. They are also known as the doctors. Doctors because they've treated more than 250 doctors in the area, which is more than any other. And that's as good a testimony as you're going to need right there. These are the people that doctors go to for their eye care. You can find out more at youridoc.com. You got Dr. Greg Birdie, Dr. Ranjan Malhotra, Dr. Robert Brusati, Dr. Andy Royer. These are experts in diagnosis and treatment of diseases of the eye. So whether it's just maintaining your normal, prescription for your glasses or your contacts, or you have some dry eyes, allergies, maybe at some point you're progressing toward LASIK surgery. More serious problems can pop up as well. But a lot of times you're not going to know about those more serious problems like glaucoma or macular degeneration. You may not know that they're coming if you're not getting an annual eye exam. And I never did. I'm speaking to you after years and years of being dumb, of not knowing any better, but finally having learned that this should be a regular part of the routine, and it is going to be for me moving forward. See, I never had to get my eyes checked. I never had glasses. I've never had contacts. I've never had to worry about it. But I also didn't know what I didn't know, and that's why I was so thankful when I had a chance to sit down with Dr. Malhotra. He explained all of these things to me, and, it's a simple thing, right? You stay on top of it in advance, and you can cut off problems early on. So, again, the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are experts in these areas. You need to call for your appointment, 314-966-5000, just a half mile west of 270 on Manchester, easy to get to from anywhere in town. You can find out more at youridoc.com.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Julia owed the IRS thousands.
I was paralyzed with fear.
Then
I heard a commercial for Optima Tax Relief.
Optima Tax Relief is the leading tax resolution firm, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and experts in the Fresh Start Initiative.
Optima Tax Relief settled my IRS tax bill.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
It was amazing.
Call 800-354-2840. 800-354-2840.
Optima Tax Relief. Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice, KMOX.
I know this song.
You do?
Yeah, the Verve stole it.
This isn't the one.
Oh, wait, never mind. Not this one. It's a different Rolling Stone song.
This song's actually good.
Yeah, I like it. I'm into it. You guys play Scrabble?
No.
I haven't played in a really long time.
That is stunning to me.
You know why? You know why I'm bad at Scrabble?
Can't spell?
No,
Not
this
good
is
at
actually true.
talking?
You have to know, I'm not even kidding. You have to have a mastery of short words. And
you only know the big ones.
I mean, it sounds really stupid.
Amy's like, I only have 45-point words.
I know, no, but you can't do anything with big words. It's literally having at your disposal the ability to quickly recall all of these short little words and then boom, boom, boom.
That's
and go.
the strangest brag I've ever heard.
Yeah, I don't care about your dumb
No,
Scrabble
my sister's really good at
Don't care
it.
about
She
it.
can crush me in Scrabble.
What I do care about is this.
She's smarter than you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, come on. What I do care about is this. The dictionary adds words every year. Merriam
It's a scheme. You guys paying attention to this dictionary? Couldn't help but notice that they keep adding words to it.
FTX is in it now.
Hey, listen,
so
there's not an unlimited number of words. You can add new things.
yeah, you can add. There should be, I think, a limit. Nope, we've come up with all the words, no more words.
Right.
But Merriam-Webster adds every year, which also means there is a Scrabble dictionary, and they go off the Webster dictionary.
So why aren't they just using the Webster dictionary?
Hey, Kevin.
Someone's just copying the Webster dictionary.
Ours.
Yeah. What do? I work for the Scrabble dictionary. Oh, how do you come up with all those words? Alt, copy, paste. What do you mean? No, so I guess
They've
they don't.
been doing this, hiring this guy, and they're like, guys, I
That's
got
great.
bad news. I think maybe we've been adding an extra step to this
Yeah.
whole process.
Command C, Command V. That's how I do it.
Oh.
So they don't just go with the regular dictionary for whatever reason. They'll add words later. They have added a bunch of new words.
Okay.
To the Scrabble dictionary. I'm going to go through some of these with you.
Okay.
And tell me. Well, I just would like to get your reaction on some of these. So Stan is in the Scrabble dictionary now. Stan.
Yep, like I stand
Yes.
So
the ice cream,
but
guys.
also like Stan Van Gundy, like the name.
Yes,
but
it,
with the other meaning.
That's correct.
Okay.
Explain to people the
because
other
on
meaning.
Scrabble you can't use names, right?
No, you can't
Right.
use proper nouns. You're not supposed to.
Right. Or even improper ones, but not names.
But Stan means you'll stick up for somebody. You know, you'll defend them no matter what.
Right.
And it comes from an Eminem song called Stan.
Called Stan, yes.
Yeah. All right. Convo. Convo is now an actual word.
Is
Not
it?
conversation, just convo.
Like it.
Yes.
All
Docs.
about brevity.
Oh, yeah.
Docs. DOX.
Nice. Let's go.
That means you put out publicly someone's address or phone number or personal information. So a lot of times people will do it to their enemies.
Yeah.
On the internet. It's very dangerous.
Why'd you say it like that?
On the internet?
The enemies.
I don't know. Sometimes I have a weird cadence.
I thought you were making a point.
You know,
Anyways, the internet.
you really do have a weird case.
What's happened is I've had a lot of caffeine,
Oh.
not enough food, and I'm starting
Shocking.
to get zany.
Oh, that's in the dictionary now.
Zany?
No, it isn't.
It is.
But dox is
Okay.
So dox is to expose somebody's address, phone number, and put it out publicly.
Mhm.
Faux hawk.
Oh, yeah.
A faux hawk is now in the Scrabble dictionary.
You know, and what's interesting,
That's
because
two
faux
words, though,
hawks
right?
have been
Nope,
around
it's
for
one
a
word.
while.
So it's like a mohawk,
Yes.
but it's not an actual mohawk.
I
It's a
thought it was
mohawk.
just two separate words, faux for
Nope.
false, and then hawk for the hair.
Now, this one is really interesting to me because it's been in the regular dictionary for years, but
Okay.
is just now in the Scrabble dictionary, dumpster.
What?
Yeah, dumpster.
How could dumpster not be in the Scrabble
I
dictionary?
don't know.
It's a thing. It's been a thing for a very long time.
Look,
So the guy that has been copying
the Command C guy?
the Command C guy has randomly decided that
Don't-
dumpster shouldn't go in until this year.
I guess.
Now I'm picturing him as Rob Schneider as the copy guy.
Hey.
Dumpster rammer.
And I make
Here's
a
another
Scrabble.
one. Subtweet.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Subtweet. That's a good one.
Yeah.
And for people to know what a subtweet is,
Yeah.
that's when
That's when you tweet from the sub.
It's
Yeah.
when you're in the nuclear
Yeah.
submarine and
Yeah, the
you
Red
tweet.
October. No, you
We're
tweet
defecting.
about a specific person without naming that person.
Mhm.
A lot of
Like
times
if
done with a quote tweet.
like if I were to tweet there's a loud guy in this room right now,
Yeah.
but I didn't say it was Kevin.
Right.
I'd be subtweeting Kevin.
Correct.
Yeah.
Unfollow,
Okay.
unmute,
Okay.
and unsub, which means to
So
unsubscribe.
Sure.
all of
Those
those
are all new words.
All of those make sense as new contributions because they're relatively new developments.
Yeah.
Dumpster has been
Dumpster's weird.
around for a long time.
Here's
Also,
one.
unsub has been around for a long time too. That's like
Unsubscribe.
No,
I've never
no,
said
No,
unsub.
that's like the unknown subject in an investigation. It's like a CSI kind of thing.
Oh, well, and now
That's
it's
like
in
their
this.
shorthand for unidentified subject.
Here's one that is just incredible to me that it has not been in. Yeehaw.
What?
Yeehaw was not in the Scrabble dictionary until now.
But is
The
it
word
because-
yeehaw.
Is it wait, no, yeehaw, not hee haw.
Yeehaw, like yeehaw.
Okay.
Like you're a cowboy.
I feel like up until this year, the Scrabble dictionary has been moderated by a very petty person with personal, like vindictive
Well,
against someone else.
They're very, very vindictive against their bae because bae is now in it, BAE, which means babe.
Can I just say
Hey, babe.
how much
bae.
I hate that word?
You hate the word bae?
I just I
Like
don't
my
care.
bae.
I don't
Yeah.
mind slang and all in general. That one, for whatever reason, it's like, really, we're that lazy. We can't just say the B. We
How do
can't just say the B. It's
How-
right there.
I agree with you.
It doesn't add any length to the sound of the word.
What about skeezy? Because skeezy's in
yeah, I
now.
like that.
Not like skeezy.
I know you do. You say it to me all the time.
You know, like you're just
Look at
as
this
if
skis
you
over here.
skeezy in a word, Raj. You're skeezy.
Here's one I really like. Whelp.
Oh, I love
Whelp.
whelp.
WELP.
Yeah.
Plus, there's another meaning for that, isn't there?
No,
Like
you're
someone is
thinking-
a little whelp, a young whelp. It's like a little kid, right?
It is?
I don't think so.
I have
think-
never heard that
I
before.
think so.
All right. Queso, which
Oh,
is
yeah.
melted cheese. Queso is in. Marg,
Like
as
margarita.
in short for margarita.
All
So the
right, that's
word
cool. Yeah,
marg.
let's go.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. Wagyu, which I guess would have been a Japanese word, but now it is in the English dictionary.
Isn't that a proper noun? Like, or not a noun? It's a descriptor, though. It's a certain kind of beef.
Yes. Yeah, it's kind of beef, but it
Okay.
is a.
Capitalized?
It's not an English word though.
Oh, so it has to be an English word
Yeah.
to not be okay in the Scrabble.
Zoomer. So for the Generation Z,
Okay.
they're called Zoomers.
Oh,
So Zoomer is now acceptable.
See, I don't like
wait, when
I don't
did we
like
call
that.
that. I haven't heard that. I like it though.
See,
Yeah.
the reason why I don't like it because it makes me think of just being on Zoom. You know, all the Zoom meetings we
Oh.
have,
Yeah.
as if Zoomer. Oh, is that the generation that had to go on Zoom?
Did they also add zoomies? Like when,
I
when
didn't
your
see.
dog gets the
No,
zoomies?
I don't see zoomies in this one.
See, that should be in the
Yes!
dictionary because
Zoomies
everybody
should
knows
be
the
in there.
Zoomies.
Yeah.
Oppo, as
Hate
in
it.
Oppo Research, or
Op-
he went opposite field.
Oppo
Oppo.
taco.
Yeah, Oppo. I don't
Not
like
a
that
fan
one.
of Oppo.
I like Oppo taco.
I hate Oppo Taco.
I don't
I
like
like
when
that
people
one.
think they're cute.
Well, speaking of cute, adorbs is
Oh
now
my
a word.
gosh.
I love adorbs.
No, you don't.
Yes,
you
I do.
say adorable.
I do
all
say
the
adorable,
time. I
but
have
I-
never once heard you say adorbs.
Well, I'm not saying it to you.
I've heard you say
Oh, he's
adorable.
saving that for the special people.
I save it for the special ladies.
Oh,
Hello, you're
That's
adorbs.
That's the pickup line. You're adorbs.
you're adorbs.
It works.
Hey, bae.
It works.
You're adorbs.
I bet it's the incredulity that a grown man just said adorbs.
You are not allowed to use those words
That-
on this show.
That old fat guy just said I was adorbs. All right.
Why is he wearing
This
a
is
soccer jersey over all those coats?
This one you guys are going to love.
Okay.
Jedi.
Yeah.
You Star Wars goobers.
I mean, that should have been in there 30 years ago.
Jedi not always capitalized?
No.
No,
and here's the thing. It no longer is capital.
Okay, question.
It's just a lowercase j.
Question.
Unless you're talking specifically about the Jedi Order, in which case it's a...
If Jedi is in the Scrabble dictionary, is Sith?
It better be.
I don't know about
think
that.
it is.
Here's one that we can
Gotta
use.
sift that flour.
We can use this one to describe Amy
Oh.
every day.
Mhm.
Hangry.
Oh, that's so true. I'm so hungry, guys.
You are.
Amy, bring food.
I did bring food. Well,
Bring
not today.
more.
Today I did run out of time, but I brought food yesterday.
Every day.
How do you run out of time when you? She wakes up at 4.
Because you
stores.
have to do stuff, and I'm like running and getting ready, and I can't anyway. But I am hangry.
So hangry is your
That's a good one,
combination
too.
of
Love
being angry because you're hungry.
What about
That's what
sad
hangry is.
because you're hungry? That's more of what I get.
Sangry.
Yeah.
Let's see. Onesie.
Onesie. Okay.
So like you wear a
that should have been around
onesie.
a
How
long
is that
time.
not in? The
I don't know. I
because
feel
babies wear onesies.
Yeah,
Right.
for like decades.
right. Spork.
Hate sporks.
You know
How
what a
is-
spork is?
Yes, of course.
I used to get sporks at Taco Bell in
Uh,
like 80s.
No, you get sporks at KFC.
That's because it's because they're
They
the same
give
company
you
as Taco Bell.
sporks to eat fruit cocktail.
That's great.
Yeah.
Swole.
Okay.
Okay.
That one's a little old though.
It is a little bit. I'm a little surprised that it's that late coming along.
Scrabble's behind the times.
Yeah, Scrabble really is.
Scrabble's a bunch of boomers.
Vax and
Okay.
vaxed.
Okay.
So I will say I've never said vaxxed until the COVID vaccine. I've said vaccinated, but I've never said like, oh yeah, did you get the polio
In
vax?
all honesty, I don't
I
know
say
that we
vax.
ever talked about vaccinations much at all before that.
No, I don't think
In
we
the
did.
before
Except
time,
for
we just
Jenny
like-
McCarthy and Tom
Oh,
Cruise.
that lady.
Yeah.
What a weirdo. And there's one that is the infuriating one.
Okay.
This one, I'm going to end on this,
Okay.
and I hate it. I understand that language changes and language evolves. We invent words, whatever. I am absolutely opposed to changing or adding to the dictionary because people don't pronounce words properly.
Oh, I agree.
Eggcorn.
What?
Eggcorn.
Eggcorn.
Eggcorn. Eggcorn, because people mispronounce acorn.
Wait.
No.
They added
Yes.
that?
No,
they
they
added
didn't.
it.
First of all, who says that wrong?
I've never heard eggcorn.
I haven't either, but there are idiots who do it. If you say eggcorn, no, you're wrong, and you should be punished and go to jail. Just like the people who say supposedly, which has been added to the dictionary because people
No.
are saying supposedly wrong.
So see, this is very upsetting to me because
this one makes me so mad.
irregardless is not a word,
It
but
is
they've
actually.
added it because so many people use irregardless. It's regardless or irrespective, but there's no irregardless. But because so many people use it
Yes.
incorrectly, it is now considered acceptable, and I don't like that either. But
Yeah.
eggcorn, I've actually never even heard of anybody saying eggcorn. Okay, here's what bothers me, and I see this on social media. It's I should have gone to the game, not I should have gone to
Oh,
the game.
yes, I hate that one.
That
I
bothers
should
me.
have.
I should
Oh.
have gone to the game.
No, you
That
should
is
have.
ridiculous.
Yeah, you should have.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. That of all of those, that one bugs.
And you see it on social media. Oh, I should.
the word
of.
of doesn't even make sense in that.
It doesn't.
Context.
A texter to
People-
314-436-7900. Please tell Chris, Amy, and Kevin that Bay is not short for babe. It's short for before anything else.
I did
I
learn
think
that.
I think that's half true because it was initially short for baby. Like,
You know what's awesome is that someone texted in and knew that.
I know.
Which means
They're
we've
very,
got
Now,
we got very smart people.
according
listeners.
to dictionary.com, the
Yeah.
origin is between 2000 and 2005. It's an Americanism, probably a shortening of babe or baby.
Yes, but
I
now,
think people made that other part after the fact.
yeah, sure, I believe that.
Hey, Ron, do you know what KMOX stands for?
Yes, K because
Coolest
it's
people ever on the radio.
It's west of the Mississippi, so
Yep.
your call letter starts with K.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
MO for Missouri,
Mhm.
What?
and X
Yes.
because the station
it's-
started Christmas Eve, 1925.
Oh,
KMOX.
good job, Ranji.
You're welcome. So, which means the 100-year anniversary is in 2 years.
I wish you would be here
Wait,
to see
No,
it.
wait,
3
3
years,
years,
brother.
Well, 2.5.
3. It'll be 3.
Well, I guess
December.
December
Come on,
24th and
Ranj.
25.
That's right. We all have learned this, and
But 19, but
Math on the radio.
2025.
Mhm.
Well, that whole year we're going to celebrate.
100
If we're still here.
years.
We're going to celebrate.
100 years.
I don't think we're going to be here in a couple of years. Not at this rate.
It's a
We've
real
been reading
crap show, isn't it?
Scrabble words for the past 20 minutes.
And that was great. I think.
Righty then. Texter says all that it means is that someone who knows what Bay is that they're under 40 and on the internet. To know what that means. I think that's a good definition.
That's good.
I'm well over 40 and I'm on the internet and I understand it. So I think that we could expand that a little bit. But yeah, that's a good point.
Another texter. This is a sick show.
Yeah!
SIC.
That's one of my people.
SIC.
I guarantee you 314 is one of my people.
Sick. That's sick.
This show is sick.
No. It's spelled SIC, not the word sick, which is a song, maybe the greatest song of all time by the Lords we know as Slipknot.
I thought it was from Road Rash. I thought it was a Road
guarantee
Rash
you.
song.
Should we bounce back with sick when we come back?
Yeah, we
No, God, please.
I don't want to scare you guys.
Oh, God.
We'll come back and wrap it up next year on the show.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. We continue shining a light on great work by nonprofits. Meet Unleashing Potential, known by its initials UP. UP focuses on discovering and unleashing the very best in each child they assist. Busey Bank is proud to partner with Unleashing Potential to help them fulfill their mission. Listen to our November podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
It's here this weekend. Diamonds Direct's biggest and final store-wide sale of the year. 3 days of extra savings, Friday through Sunday. Your final chance before the holidays to save an extra 20% on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones, and the selection is double with entire designer lines flown in only for this event. This is the best pre-holiday shopping opportunity. The biggest sale all year. Special financing too. Details at diamondsdirect.com. It's this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Get ready for a one-of-a-kind audio-visual experience. Timeless and everlasting. KMOX welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra, the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more, live in concert, 3 p.m. Saturday, December 10th at Enterprise Center. Don't miss this holiday tradition. $1 of each ticket sold to the 3 p.m. show will go to SSM Health Cardinal Glennon. Get full ticket and show details on the events page at KMOX.com.
Do you know how much of your life savings you could lose in the next market downturn? Are you okay with the stock market controlling your financial future, or would you like to have more control? Hi, I'm Ken Heisey of Heisey Advisory Group. Our team can stress test your retirement portfolio and give you the confidence to enjoy your retirement without having to worry about what the stock market is doing. Call 314-328-4400 today. That's 314-328-4400 and schedule your complimentary retirement roadmap review with our team. That's 314-328-4400. Again, 314-328-4400.
Heisey Advisory Group provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered through AE Wealth Management, LLC. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Now your Bite This Network traffic report. It looks like every vehicle in the country is currently headed to Hardee's for a saucy A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99. You heard that right. Every single car, truck, and annoying electric scooter thing all heading to Hardee's. But don't take a detour. Hit the brakes on your hunger with a Charbroil Double Deal. Bite into the new A1 Double Cheeseburger for only $2.99, only at Hardee's. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price may vary. A1 is a registered trademark of Kraft Foods used with permission.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friends at ThrottleNet. These are the genius IT guys that I've been representing for years and years now. We are number one all the time. Best in customer service from Small Business Monthly. Best in cybersecurity, again, Small Business Monthly. We have an average response time. I love this statistic. The average response time in St. Louis in 2020 by IT companies. You have a problem, you reach out to them, hey, I'm all shut down, help me, was 3 hours. If you got back within 3 hours, you were cool. Ours was 1 minute, 57 seconds, and the guys were very unhappy with that. It takes less than 2 minutes for us to address your problems. Here's a huge thing. We are now offering $500,000 in ransom protection to everyone who uses us. This is part of the deal. You don't pay extra for it. So if you happen to be hit and you have to pay, we're going to pay it up to $500,000. Now, this shows you how confident we are because no one under our protection has ever had to pay. Go to throttlenet.com/DGS.
Furnish hope right here in St. Louis. Donate your unneeded furniture and household goods to Home Sweet Home. Visit www.homesweethomestl.org to learn more.
Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Find the car you want, new or used. Get it at Clement, get pre-approved. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. Everybody knows you gotta get it at Clement. ClementAutoGroup.com.
Trish Gazelle for Ophthalmology Associates. For the best eye doctors, you need to see the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates. Online at youridoc.com or 314-966-5000.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. More Amy, more Kevin, more Chris. What is this weird show? The Show on KMOX.
Now ask Mark Zuckerberg that question: which is more valuable, your money or your vote or your country or this world or the corruption that is taking over every single county in this nation? And then you look into your own soul and you look back at yourself in the mirror and realize that you are the cancer that is tearing this nation apart. Good day.
Thank you.
What?
My favorite audio of
That
the
is
week.
the best thing in the world.
That is not a televangelist.
That is
which
the
what
best
it
thing in the
sounds
world.
Like. That's a rando dude with dreadlocks who apparently goes to like town councils and city halls and yells about things. He did this in San Diego about vaccines. He just did it there in Maricopa County over the elections problems. But there's nothing better. I mean, the whole rant is insane, and we're making people crazy with all of our deception and nonsense. But I gotta say, the ending of that is mint.
It's so good.
Good day.
Thank you.
All right.
Did this guy
All
write
right.
that rant out in advance, or was he just
I don't think this guy can
freestyling
write.
it? He was freestyling that? It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
I don't know, but
He's the modern Patrick Henry.
somebody needs to hire that man. You think he's got a job?
Can I
I'm gonna guess no.
Can I hear the end again with the response?
Good day.
Thank you.
I just love he goes on this totally
Thank
like
you.
This total like the world is ending and it's because of you. Good,
Good
day,
day,
sir.
I say. Good day.
He got all British there for a second, and then the councilman.
Good day.
Yeah, I love it.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. That guy, you know what? That guy gets it. That guy gets it. Should we?
Which guy? The
Both-
thank you or
Both
the
of
good
them.
day?
Both of them.
Hey guys,
What?
we're about to wrap it up for the day.
All right. See you tomorrow.
DGS is coming up next.
Good day.
Thank you.
Are you concerned about outliving your money? Well, how would you like to have guaranteed growth and a lifetime of income you may never outlive? Join me, Ben Coons, for the Retirement and Income Radio Show